bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The tape. Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Should've been grind. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The tape.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro.
The tape.
UGA game day, boy, we ball out. Pull up, put the whole conference in the doghouse. Leave them 6 feet, see me on the win streak. All-star status, go coach and the bench deep. Offense on 10, how we run it? Your best ain't nothing, we gon' send them boys punting. Black and red, got them dead on arrival. Defense hunker down for the tie. Hey, you don't want it with the dogs. Found guy on it, you don't want it with my dog. Break it down, play by play, that's the day-to-day. They know we ain't come to play, boy, it's UGA. Kirby Smart, I cannot play the fool. Back to back, we did not come to lose. Back to back, like we got something to prove. Pay your dues, dog nation on the move. What's up?
We do a little bit different around here.
We ain't come to play, we ain't come to play. Shut up and grind the tape.
The tape. The tape.
We ain't come to play, we ain't come to play. Them dogs in your face.
Let's grind.
We ain't come to play, we ain't come to play. Shut up and grind the tape.
Shut up. Let's grind.
We ain't come to play, we ain't come to play. Them dogs in your face. Shut up and grind.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The tape. The
Shut
tape.
up and grind.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro.
Shut up and grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
Shut up and grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro.
Shut up.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to MBR, or as we like to call it around here, Nothing But Rants, the show where I find topics that I'm oddly passionate about and I pontificate upon them. These are not hot takes, but rather takes that I'm hot about. What's up? You really like that?
Let's shut up and grind some tape.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome in to the Film Guy Network on a fabulous Thursday evening. Last show, best show. As we always say this time of the week, and boy, what a week it was around here. What a tremendous week of content it was on the Film Guy Network this week. We had 12 hours of live content already this week. Can you believe that? 12 hours of live content. That's just live content of these cameras rolling, them lights red, that live stream going. 12 hours, last two, best two. We finna get after it tonight. You've already gotten 3 film studies this week. You finna get a 4th after tonight's show. As soon as 10 o'clock hits, you get smacked with another film study, okay? We're going to look at the Alabama defense at 10 o'clock tonight, fresh after this live stream. And guess what? We're not done after tonight because we'll be on national television tomorrow. We got Paul 5 Bob 3:30 down there at FanFest.
Oh.
So if you want to come heckle the Brody, come heckle the Brody. We'll be down there. Nobody taking a ride? You guys going to take Friday off?
I'll be
fine.
taking a ride Saturday.
Or you be taking a ride Saturday. That's right. Chuck Dunlap keeping the homie down for the 3rd straight year. Chuck Dunlap, we got to have a word, man. We got to have a word. Grok, you know what Grok says the 3rd biggest college football podcast in the world is? This one. Oh. That's what Twitter's AI says. So 3rd biggest one in the world, and homie can't get a credit. We got to talk Chuck Dunlap. Maybe I'll see him this weekend. I ain't going to say a word to him.
Good to see you, Mr. Dunlap.
I ain't ready to push the weight around. I don't think we got any yet. It looks like we might one day, but we ain't got no weight to push right now, so we're going to stay away from that. But, yeah, man, it's been an awesome week of content around this network. Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button because we got a loaded one for you tonight. We got our final thoughts here on a Thursday evening. We got more and more coaching news. It feels like we've been talking about coaching news forever. Sure, no one wants to ride with me tomorrow? Certain special person asking if I need an extra ticket. Anybody?
Oh, I actually can't.
You
no,
can't?
Think about
Anybody?
it. I can't.
You want to bump elbows? Can't? All right. I'll text it back.
Well,
Solo dolo it is.
What time maybe? We'll figure it out after.
Okay. But he needs an answer soon, so we need to figure out soon.
Does he not know you're on air right now?
I don't think he cares if I'm on air. No, I don't think he cares.
Understandable.
Do you know when he's live?
I don't know who we're talking about.
Exactly. Anyways, we got final thoughts here on a Thursday. We got coaching news to talk about. We're going to rate our predictions here on a Thursday as well, unless it doesn't happen coming on a Thursday as well, as it always does. Make sure you like. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you're firing off in the chat. Make sure you're having a good time on a Thursday night. I always tell the boys, I didn't tell you tonight before the show, so I'll tell you now. I always tell the boys on a Thursday, I want to have fun. If we do nothing today, let's have fun, let's laugh. Let's have a good time on the way out as we have a tremendous weekend of conference championships this weekend. Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button, all that good stuff. We got a bunch of coaching news. Old Billy Napier headed to JMU. Buster Faulkner headed to Florida as the offensive coordinator.
Yep.
Terry Smith was receiving buzz at Penn State, but now apparently Matt Campbell circled around that joint. Where do you want to start? I want to start with Buster Faulkner at Georgia Tech or at Florida. So that's where we will start. Facing Buster Faulkner at Georgia Tech was plenty tough. It was plenty tough. It was tough enough to this year to the tune of 485 yards a game in the ACC. Now, look, ain't too many great defenses in that league, albeit Pitt, really, really good every year. Clemson, really, really good every year. And they got to play Georgia every single year. And this guy was top 20 every single year in scoring offense at Georgia Tech. Doesn't happen very often. He is that good. I think it's a tremendous hire. Everybody's been talking about that, but I think he's a tremendous coordinator for this reason. I think he's a chameleon coordinator.
Yep.
And we very seldomly talk about these types of guys. I don't think he does one thing. I think he does whatever the team needs to do. We go get that thing done. And you can see it no more evident in his performances at Georgia Tech. All right, he's got a quarterback in Haynes King that is very much so running the most modern, explosive version of the option. All right, every play has a threat. Every play has an option in the flat. Every play can involve the quarterback's legs. They are running the most explosive and modern version of the option humanly possible. However, if you give him a pure passer, he'll break school records. You know how I know this? He did it with Aaron Philo.
Yep.
Now, granted, he did it against a mid-major school, but Aaron Philo's got 2 career starts, once against a mid-major, once against NC State, averaging 320 yards passing per game at a option offense. That's like, hey, we plugged him in with the same weapons, broke school records. That's what kind of play caller this guy is as well. I think he is one of the best layerers and holding and setting up punches type of play callers that there is in college football. Sark used to get labeled this. I think Sark's lost this bag since he's gone into being a head coach and a play caller. I think Buster Faulkner will go through the opening drive, setting things up to score within that drive. I think he'll go an opening quarter, setting things up for an explosive that he's going to hit you in the face with in the third and fourth quarter. I think he is tremendous in the plus 35s. He always has a tremendous green zone play call. All right? Really, really hard to score once we get inside that 5. You know what's easier? When we score from the 35. He's really, really good at that. It's a tremendous coaching hire. I also think he pairs really, really well with this style of coaching that Summerall laid out in his opening press conference, okay? He talked about how every team has a different way to win. This is what great football coaches do. I don't think great football coaches have one scheme. I don't think they win one way. I think they win every year because they find what the team needs to do to win. And that's what Summerall laid out. That's how he coaches. That's how he's been at Tulane. That's how he was at Troy. That's how he will be at Florida. That's how his coordinator is. That's who Buster Faulkner is. So, yeah, I think it's a tremendous hire for a multitude of reasons. All the explosives that he builds off of the layering concepts that he has as a play caller is what's really, really impressive to me. There will be a question, not really a problem. I wonder what they're going to do at quarterback. Because if you really paid attention to Summerall's opening press conference, he talks about a lot of great players. Mm-hmm. He talks a lot about a lot of great players. I don't know, and keeping a lot of great players at Florida. I don't know if one of those is the quarterback. Do you keep DJ Lagway?
Well, it also, does DJ Lagway keep you?
Yeah, does DJ Lagway want to stay there? I think that's one of the main questions when you go into this. Like, hey, does Philo want to go down to Florida now? Like, what? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And the interesting part about this is there's not even a timetable for DJ Lagway to see if he likes Buster Faulkner's offense or what he's going to build for them down there. Because,
nope, you got 30 days.
Yeah, you got to transfer out before spring practice. So you don't even get to kind of test the waters a little bit and see if you like the fit. You got to make a decision before that happens. So I would imagine if I had to bet today, I would say DJ Lagway is not at Florida for next season, if I had to guess.
At the very least, I think he enters the transfer portal and at least exercises options. We've heard and seen times before where players have, will test the waters and see what offers they get, and eventually sometimes they'll come back to the schools they were originally with. That, at the very least, is, I think, what takes place with DJ Lagway here.
Got to be at Paul at 3:30.
Okay.
Or you can meet me in Buckhead at 7.
I'll meet you in Buckhead at 7.
All right. You're down. Billy Napier to JMU. Seems like an instant winner, right? It was Signetti, and then it was Brent Pry, and then it was the Bob Chesney guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that the lineage of JMU football coaches, or was there? No, there was a Coastal guy, a guy that was at JMU, went from JMU to Coastal, and then they hired Bob Chesney after Signetti and the guy that went to Coastal and got fired at Coastal. And now Chesney goes to UCLA, they hire Billy Napier. Tremendous opportunity for him to rebuild his image. My main takeaway on this, guys, honestly, this is what happens when you get fired from a really, really predominant job and you keep your mouth shut and you don't go on media circuits and you don't become even more unlikable than you just were. You get a really, really good job at the mid-major level to rebuild your image like Billy just got. I don't think he was going to get afforded this type of opportunity.
God, no.
Yeah, that's a great point because, I mean, even James Franklin, just a few days after he got fired from Penn State, he was on College Game Day's desk pitching and hollering for him to get a new head coaching job.
Well, there'll be another client, coach on that desk tomorrow. Lane Kiffin going to be on game day or Saturday, my bad.
But the point of you haven't heard from Billy Napier at all since he got canned at Florida. It's just been complete silence. Like the only thing you heard about Napier since he got fired from Florida is that he was at Georgia's practice the week of the Texas game. That was it. That was the only thing you heard about him in the headlines.
So you know how we were told and kind of thought that Buster might be going to Auburn?
Right.
That's because that sourcing world and part of the coaching world thought Summerall was going to Auburn too.
Makes sense.
And that thing went upside, and then he went to Florida. But he chose Florida. Chose Florida first.
To me, going back to the Faulkner news, to me, him going to the Florida job tells me that he didn't want to take one of those lower-tier head coaching jobs.
Yeah.
He wants to go ahead and get to a big boy. That's the jump he wants to make.
If I was his agent, we would have been in that running for that South Florida job, and I think we would have beat Brian Hartline for it. I think that South Florida job is the next one. I think it's the next obvious go there, win 9 games a year, boom, done. You'll be at an SEC school, period.
Well, I think
or a big-time Big Ten job.
Well, I think it could also be a product of you've had a lot of these Group of 5 products not work out in the big leagues to where it might necessarily scare some schools off. Billy Napier is a prime example of this, going from Louisiana to Florida. That didn't work out. Scott Frost is arguably the most famous of this, to where you won all the games at UCF and then went to Nebraska, flamed out. There's a handful of scenarios where it doesn't necessarily work out. That I think it kind of scares people, and there's kind of this, we don't want another Group of 5 guy. We need someone from a big school. So it seems kind of like it makes sense for Buster Faulkner to go to one of these quote-unquote big schools as an OC as opposed to taking a smaller head coaching job.
And I think this was their primary, Florida fans, this was their primary concern with hiring a defensive guy. Mm-hmm. They wanted to score a lot of points. And, again, being extremely relatable, in his opening press conference, he's very aware of his own fan base already. He said, I don't want to be some defensive guy that wins on squatting on the ball. I want to be like, and he pointed to Urban Meyer or Steve Spurrier in the background, like one of Coach's friends, Bob Stoops. I want to be Bob Stoops of Florida coaching, which if y'all don't remember, Bob Stoops was a defensive coach, but they always scored points at Oklahoma. They always put it up. They always had Heisman contenders. That's the style of football that he wants to play. That's the style of football that Florida fans require, most importantly. Which, by the way, I was on a Florida podcast, Locked On Gators. Appreciate Brandon Olson for having me on. Went and checked out the comments. Just as filled with vitriol as I thought it would be. They do not like this guy. Even after 3 or 4 days, getting to really absorb it, having the entire world tell them it's a great hire, they don't like it.
You know why?
Why?
Because
they wanted Lane?
They thought they were getting Lane.
Yeah.
Everybody was telling them that they were getting Lane up until the last week of the Lane Kiffin head coaching
all you find on there is just fire Strickland. Strickland sucks. Fire Strick.
Yeah,
fire Strick.
Like
fire
I said
Strick.
last time we
Film
had this
guy don't know
conversation.
shit. Fire Strick.
Which And that was my point last time we had this conversation of it's not that they're angry that Summerall is their head coach. It's that they're angry at their athletic director and they want him to fail.
Ooh, taking the chat. Hartline will be head coach at FSU in 2027.
I've got a little tinfoil hat theory.
Oh, go ahead and put it on, baby.
Just gonna exercise this one real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Buster Faulkner took this job knowing that he could, set roots in the state of Florida and really ingratiate himself with that state so that when the Florida State job ultimately comes open, it's his.
Oh, you think Buster's angling for the Florida State job?
Feels that way. I mean, it's going to take
Buster, 44 years old, by the way.
That's prime head coaching age, really.
Yeah. I mean, dude, he's on the precipice. He'll be there next. He'll be the next one, you would imagine.
Yeah. Which
do you think the Hartline thing works out? I don't know anything other than he's a great recruiter, and he obviously was the reason that those kids wanted to go to Ohio State. Ohio State's a great football program, but those wide receivers very clearly went to Ohio State because of Brian Hartline, if you watched what happened yesterday.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I would imagine that he'll hire an offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, all that stuff. Like, if he can check those two boxes, I would imagine he'll do pretty well down there. Like, if you can recruit the state of Florida like he already has at USF, I think he'll be all right down there.
I don't know much about him as other than a recruiter and a wide receiver developer.
Yeah, that's the thing is like
I don't know much about. But, dude, like what is Matt Campbell or not Matt Campbell? What is the Lions coach? I'm not saying he is
Dan Campbell.
What is Dan Campbell's specialty?
I mean,
what's he coach?
Insanity.
Tight ends. He coaches the team, right? He motivates men, right? That's his job. His job is to motivate men, be the CEO of the organization.
He's also a pretty solid offensive mind.
I'm sure. I'm sure Hartline can hold his own on a whiteboard too. You know what I mean? It's about whether or not you're a great football coach does not have to you don't have to be a great play caller. Another one. What's Dabo Swinney's specialty? Anybody know? He was a wide receivers coach before he was the interim.
Right.
Like PJ Fleck never called plays. I'm not saying PJ Fleck's great, but PJ Fleck's going to make $150 million coaching football.
Mm-hmm. It's about
he never called plays. So
about being a CEO.
Yeah. So there are things that say chat saying he's calling plays now. Is he? Is Brian Hartline calling plays at Ohio State? He got sole autonomy of play calling.
That's what I mean. That's what we were told.
I didn't watch the game close enough. Literally the game close enough, I guess, to check whether or not Ryan Day had the Waffle House card.
I didn't either.
Maybe he didn't then. He
must
not have. I probably would have noticed it. Maybe he is calling plays.
Brian Hartline did have autonomy on plays calling once, and it got taken away from him. So I would assume that he had full, hey, you're the OC, you're calling plays here.
Yeah. Penn State.
Oh, my Lord.
It's a shit show from jump.
Whew.
From jump.
That's putting it lightly.
I still boil it down to like some people think they thought they had Signetti in the bag. I thought it was clear to me that they thought they were going to get Matt Rule. That's what I've always, set my mind on. I thought the AD. I would love if you could put me into one, like give me this calendar year, Brooks, you get to be a fly on the wall in one room the entire calendar year. It would have been the AD, the craft guy. It would have been his living room after that Northwestern loss. Because he made this decision all by himself to fire James Franklin in the middle of October.
Yeah, and
early October.
Yeah, and
never had been happened. We hadn't had a Power 4 head football coach fired before week 7.
Sam Pittman got fired at like week 6 this year.
I'm talking about prior to this season.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I saw something crazy where we'd had like 5 Power 4 football coaches fired before a date where we had never had one fired before.
I believe it.
So I would love to be in that room. What in the hell happened that day?
I mean, again, this is one of the cautionary tales, and we've hit this take before of don't fire someone just to fire someone. Firing James Franklin at the end of the 2025 season, I think, was absolutely fine, and I think that the mentality of it was we're going to be one of the first in line for this coaching search. We're going to get ahead of everyone. And the problem was it was kind of viewed as everyone by the industry and all as a whole just said, oh, this is a very premature. Look, I'm not saying James Franklin shouldn't have been fired from Penn State. He did lose to Northwestern and a 0-4 UCLA team at the time, so it makes sense, especially when you were a national title contender. The firing was valid. I think the timing is what's causing you hurt.
Yeah, and I think you're learning why coaches haven't been fired that early in the season before, because I think Penn State's a prime example of this, of you fire James Franklin thinking that you might hire Matt Rule, and then Matt Rule has an oopsie and makes it to where – we can't go and hire that guy after firing James Franklin, considering that's the exact reason why we fired James Franklin.
And even the hiring process has been shitty. How bad has their hiring process to be for the Chesney guy, JMU, to be like, yeah, I'll take the UCLA job?
Golly.
What?
Yeah.
Dude, it's hard enough to get people invigorated about football at USC. He chose the UCLA job over that. And now we got Matt Campbell. And I don't know if Matt Campbell's going to say yes. But if Matt Campbell don't say yes, but obviously Gruden doesn't want to coach football, by the way.
Yeah.
Obviously.
You don't think so?
Dude, his name ain't up. It would be up by now. It would be up for one of these jobs by now. They just rioted for the Silverfield cat at Arkansas, who, by the way, that guy's working hard. He's working really, really hard to try to be like, well, he flipped 4 in-state football players day one out there at Arkansas.
Yeah,
I think it's worth talking about because I shit on that. I shit on the whole situation out there with Yurachek. By the way, their whole fan base has as well. But good job by Silverfield. But obviously Gruden don't want it.
Gruden said he's preparing every day to coach again.
Yeah, he's also busy fixing college football. So that's good.
It's fair.
Yeah. The Penn State thing's crazy, though.
Can I read a statistic?
Go ahead.
And I'm not going to provide any context. I'll let you do your own research. In 2012, Penn State signed the 47th ranked class in National Signing Day. I will let you figure out what was going on around that time. They are on pace.
Something important happened?
Something pretty
important.
Pretty seismic that would significantly damage your ability to recruit players.
Huh.
They are on pace to currently sign the 156th ranked class, almost 100 spots
They pulled
less.
down a statue, didn't they?
They took the statue as well.
Took a statue down.
So this is bad. This is horrible.
Well, it's horrible because of your recruiting
it's
class
not
got
like criminally
shelled.
bad.
No.
No.
The situation.
There's been worse.
Yes.
It's not criminally
The
bad.
situation that you are in as
However,
far as the product that will be put on the field.
The roster ain't been this bad.
Yes.
It's
they're-
only gonna
The futures of the roster have not been this bad.
It's only going to get worse. The transfer portal hasn't even opened
yeah,
yet.
you're going to lose 40% of the roster. And by the way,
40?
Can they fill
40? They're going to lose 75% of that roster.
How are they
Yeah.
going to field a team?
They will lose every kid that thinks they have a chance to play at Virginia Tech. And some. They'll lose the starters to other Big Ten schools. They'll lose the kids that think they can play at Va Tech immediately.
oh boy.
Man. Oh, gosh.
Dude, it's gotten so bad that the interim football coach, who, by the way, like, I'm a big fan of Terry Smith. I don't know much about him. Everybody speaks very, very highly of him. Terry Smith been a lifetime defensive backs coach. Like, not even DB's coach, corners coach. Lifetime corners coach. He's strong-arming this administration right now for this job. He has obviously, his agent has obviously apparently put him up for mid-major jobs now. Now Terry Smith is in line for some of these jobs that are coming open. All right? That is obviously leverage of, if you don't hire me, I'm out of here. This guy's getting pulled every single which way and losing is this Kraft cat.
Is this the sharpest downfall we have seen of a program?
It's got
Probably.
I can't remember
mean,
one more.
For an AD's purposes, yes.
In the month of August, we are talking about a top-ranked Penn State team going into the college football season with national title aspirations. That fan base believed that they were the best team in the country because of everything that they returned and where they were setting up to go this season. And now we're talking about them losing the entire roster in an offseason. No head coach. Nobody wants the job. Nobody's even going to be talking about Penn State going into next season because it's going to be such a bad situation.
Fall from grace.
Apparently, Vandy's going to play this weekend, or at least try.
Tried to.
I think it's lip service, but cool. Would be up for it. Basically, apparently, Vandy's athletic administration reached out to Utah and reached out to Miami, per reports.
They even said Notre Dame. Diego Pavia did, I think.
The administrations talked to Utah and Miami.
Okay.
Those were the ones that apparently didn't work logistically. I think Miami said no thanks.
Yeah, if you're Miami, you don't want to play right
Yeah, I
now.
know you
Yeah,
don't
I
want-
think
do not
Utah
wanna
said,
play.
buddy, we're good.
We're done.
done.
We're cooked, dude.
We're good.
we don't
We
need
went
anything.
to the finish line ourselves, buddy. We're good.
Like, what is? I understand it. I understand the idea behind Vanderbilt. Like, we got to do something to prove it. Is beating another team that probably won't be in the playoff going to get you into the playoff?
You're like, would it even count? Like, why don't we just start scheduling games in July?
Yeah.
Just go ahead and get ahead of it.
Maybe,
you know?
yeah. Maybe we should play out-of-conference opponents.
Oh, no, don't do that. They're only getting left off because of their brand awareness, not because Oklahoma played Michigan and they played Utah State. Don't do that.
Hey, they got a Vatek win in there.
You're right. They're only getting left out because of the black and gold V. That's why.
I mean, this is absolutely true, and it's unfortunate, but
It's absolutely true.
like the black and gold V, the fact that also you started the season unranked is what's really been the crux of why you have not made a playoff.
I legitimately think Oklahoma's resume is better.
Yeah, that as well.
Alabama has the head-to-head and is in the SEC championship game.
I mean,
they should not be ranked ahead of Texas, despite the fact that Texas has the head-to-head. It's a resume contest at this point. You can't tell me that Notre Dame is ahead of Miami because you think that they're better, and then tell me that Texas is ahead of Vandy because of the head-to-head. They're split between 4 spots. You can't do that. That's a lack of consistency from the committee, and we forgot to get all up in our arms about that the other night.
Well, Texas does have one more loss.
What I'm saying is, I don't know. Yeah, they do have one more loss.
That's why Vanderbilt's ahead of them.
They're not ahead of them right now in the college football playoff rankings. Texas is ahead of Vandy. Texas is 13, Vandy is 14.
Correct.
That's why I was saying the committee, we forgot to go on a rant about this the other night when it came out. They're sitting here telling us that they don't care about head-to-head with Notre Dame and Miami, and that it's a resume and a eyeball contest type of deal. We think Notre Dame is better, which they played, but yet right there at 13 and 14, you've got Texas ahead of Vandy because of a quote-unquote head-to-head, despite the fact that the resume from Texas is worse than Vandy's.
Yeah.
So it's nuts. Speaking of nuts, I do want to talk about this Legend-based story because this is crazy. Jonathan, explain this to people who haven't heard about Legend Bay. Legend Bay is a 4-star athlete set to play wide receiver in college. Was verbally committed to Ohio State prior to signing day. Is that correct?
Yeah, so he started out as a Tennessee commit. I believe he committed to them sometime in the summer, then flipped his commitment to Ohio State. And leading up to signing day, all signs pointed to Legend Bay is going to sign and go play for Ohio State, like to the point where I don't know if you guys have seen the pictures, but there are pictures of Legend Bay at his high school for the signing ceremony, and there is Ohio State stuff all over his little desk and table that he has over there. I mean, even he is like tweeting stuff out, talking about Ohio State, how he's excited to be a Buckeye, and then next thing you know, Legend Bay is going to Tennessee instead. Well, what apparently has happened is Legend Bay is 17 years old, and in order for him to sign his LOI, his parent also has to sign that letter. And I believe Mama said, I'm not signing that letter unless you are going to Tennessee. Brother has now stepped in as well, told him he can't be on his social media accounts. So Legend Bay wants to go to Ohio State. His mom said no, so he flipped his commitment to Tennessee. Kid obviously does not want to go to Tennessee, so they're trying to figure out if he's ultimately going to go to Ohio State or if he's just going to go tough it out at Tennessee.
Spoke to a source prior to the show. I don't think Tennessee has any idea yet what they're going to do because they have his LOI. So now it's in the ball's in their court.
Right.
They either make the kid show up to campus and he transfers January 2nd on his own right once he gets out of mama and daddy's house, or, they let him out of his LOI right now. They don't know what they're going to do just yet. What would you do? I'd let the kid go.
I would too.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't want to be here, you don't want to be here. He's gotta go.
Yeah, and especially with everything
But-
you as a program have dealt with.
Also, what you have coming in, like, dude, you got Tristan Keys. You got another year or two of Mike Matthews. You got another year or two of Braylon Staley. Like, you don't need drama in that room. You're good. You don't need somebody who don't want to be there. But there is a thought process. He's a really good football player.
Absolutely.
There's a thought process there that, I mean, Knoxville's a likable place.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. You know what I mean? Maybe he gets down there and likes it. Maybe he moves in. Do you give it a shot? What's it worth? A month of 1 out of 12 of his monthly payments in NIL. What's it worth?
If I'm a Tennessee program, we've gone through enough players that don't want to be at Tennessee and are here for the check. I'm not going to prioritize getting another kid here on a check. That's the way I'm seeing it. We just went through Boo Carter and Nico Iamaleava fiasco. I'm good. You don't want to be here. No hard feelings. Go to Ohio State. We'll reject the letter of intent. That's what I'm saying. But there is also, it's a really talented kid, and he's a really good wide receiver.
My take on this stuff, I am a parent. I think if I were to place myself in these shoes, you can't make someone this is where I learned this lesson, actually. It's from Kristen Miller. All right, Georgia defensive tackle, about to be a top 60 overall draft pick. I remember in high school at 6'4", 305 pounds. I remember watching him at right tackle give Darius Smith everything he could handle playing both ways in a high school playoff game. And after the game, we got done with the interviews or whatever, professionalism. I was talking to him as someone who, covered him for a while and cared about the kid. And I told him, I said, I think you could be a first-round, 100-millionaire tackle prospect. I think you could be that good. And he didn't want to play offensive line. And he told me verbatim, I know you think that, but what if I don't want to work that hard? The work as hard as required to be great at that as I will work at being a defensive tackle. Same thing for this kid. If you're this kid's parent and he does not want to be in Knoxville, Tennessee, it doesn't matter what you think is good for his development. If he ain't working, it ain't going to work. If he ain't happy, if he's not grinding, it ain't going to work. So he needs to go where he wants to go. You got to be where you want to be to work like you need to work to be where you want to go. All right, so that's it. Like as a parent or as a coach or whatever, if the MFer don't want to be there, he don't need to be there. He need to go where he want to be. Now, there's a difference between what you need and what you want sometimes, where because these are irrational children. They're irrational young men, I should say. I still don't think I got a hold of my emotions and what I need to do and make the right decision all the time. God forbid when I was at 18, and you're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars too, adding into the equation. So, yeah, I'm not saying let them do whatever they want, but if their heart and soul is sold on a place, let them go. You need to let them go.
Yeah, I agree. Ultimately, this just seems like a situation that needs to be dissolved and let the kid make the decision that he wanted to in the first place.
Man, the whole world out here talking about Diego Pavia because he tagged the president in a playoff expansion idea. But the world ain't talking about who had the idea or the idea. Y'all seen this?
Yeah.
I mean, very, very viral. Like on ESPN, on I think First Take this morning, they talking about this. But nowhere near anywhere of the discussion points was Brooks Austin's tweet that said, just give me the 16-team playoff, no committee, no nothing, but just Diego Pavia, Executive order. And then Gruden fixed the playoffs in a different line, but really didn't. The whole internet talking about that. I'm just jealous. I want the internet talking about me for once, but in a good sense, not in a he did something bad or look at this idiot. Just felt I'd slide that in there. I'm just jealous.
Okay.
I'm just jealous. I want my shine.
Get it off the chest, big
I
dog.
thought it was a great take, even though I think I stole it from somebody. The 4-4-2-2-3 method has already been spoken about. I didn't. It's not mine. So, what about wide receiver flip to Michigan? We're going to talk about that in the local hour. Y'all ready to get into rate the predictions?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's get into the ACC championship game, boys. Duke versus Virginia. We're going to talk about this a lot in our local or in our final thoughts. This Duke football team, their entire performance and ultimate wins-loss outcome is dependent upon whether or not the turnover fairy shows up. And I'll give you the numbers on this in just a little bit. That makes this quote-unquote unpredictable game in a sense, because turnovers are very much so unpredictable. They're good at forcing them, but they show up in bunches. And you'll see this in the stats here in a little bit. But I got Virginia winning, and I'll give it a 2.49 out of 5.
I'm pretty confident that Virginia's going to win this game, honestly. I'll
dominate them first time around.
I'll give my thoughts later on in final thoughts, but again, just to kind of reiterate what I said earlier in the week of Duke's defense has not been very good or consistent. That popped up in the first meeting between these two teams. I think it's going to pop up again. Virginia's going to roll pretty good.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, Joe. We'll get more into why I think this way, but I feel confident Virginia wins this game. Virginia gets the ACC championship, and Virginia has a spot in the college football playoff. So I have it as a 4.
Let's move on to the Big 12 championship. Is this out in Jerry's World? I think
yes.
It's always played in Jerry's World, isn't it?
Has been for like a decade.
Yep. I picked Texas Tech to win this football game. I just think they're better. I'll give it a 3.22, and the only reason, the Big 12 championship stay getting weird.
They do get a little odd.
It stays getting weird. If y'all know about college football, which everybody here tonight does, y'all know that one stays getting unpredictable and weird. It's almost like ACC on a Friday night.
Yeah, and that's why I have it at 2.2 right now. I think that there is some plenty of opportunities for this game to get very close. I don't think we see a 20-point victory either way. I just feel like Texas Tech has the better talent, has the better roster on the field right now. I'm leaning Texas Tech here, but I don't feel fantastic about it.
You guys aren't very confident in this one. I'm pretty freaking confident in this one that Texas Tech is going to win. I put it at a 4.6.
Ah, boy.
4.6 if the Red Raiders get it done.
All right, let's go to the Big Ten championship game. Ohio State by a mile, 4.99 out of 5.
Yes, no. I mean, I'm pretty confident
Yep.
that Ohio State's going to win, but not that high. I got it at a 3.1. I think that Ohio State is better on offense and they're better on defense. But, I mean, Indiana, they proved me wrong when they played Oregon. I really didn't think that Indiana had much of a shot when they played Oregon, especially with that one being on the road. And then they go out there and pull out a dub. Who's to say they couldn't do it against Ohio State?
Yeah, I have it at a 3.5. I think Ohio State is the better team here, but until Ohio State has to strain or until Ohio State plays a team that we feel like has really forced them to play their best football game, there's too many questions for me to just walk in and go, oh, don't even worry about it. Put the mortgage on. Ohio State's going to win. That very well could happen, and I understand the confidence there, but there's still something shady about Ohio State to me.
We got a boatload of coverage on the SEC championship game coming up in the local hour. We all pick Bama. 0.25 out of 5 for me on confidence meter.
Give me a 0.5.
A zero?
0.
Un zero.
I would have picked Georgia, and I would have told you 0. I picked Bama. It's a 0.
I
I have no confidence in
0.
making any type of prediction about this game.
Me likey. It's gonna be a war. I can't.
Oh
wait.
yeah.
I broke out the actual pin.
The Sterling news is official.
All right, I'll hit that real quick.
The who Holiday Woody.
Aiden Sterling is officially committed to Georgia.
Nice. We got a Go Dogs tweet.
We got a Rivals tweet.
Cool. Aiden Sterling. Did you already have it prepped, or you're gonna have to write that now?
I'm writing right now, but
All right, that's
it
what's
won't-
up.
won't take
2027
long.
wide receiver just committed to Georgia. We'll talk about it in the local hour. Might have to get up in the board and watch some tape. Who knows? Let's get on to it. Unless it doesn't happen. You ready?
Let's hear him.
I got some good ones this
Oh,
week.
do
I
you?
don't want to miss on this, so let me join in. I got
Okay.
some good ones.
Oh.
I got some good ones.
It's a funky situation going on out there in the ACC. They got their automatic bid on the line, boys. Dookies take a dump on conference postseason play. You heard it here first. The Blue Devils will beat Virginia this weekend. JMU gonna beat the brakes off of Troy. North Texas wins big over the Green Wave. Miami completely left out. ACC sitting at home. You heard it here first. Unless it doesn't happen. Dookie's taking a dump on it.
I still wonder if they'll
Double down Dookie dump.
I still wonder if they'll try to find a way to wedge Duke in there just because we can't have two.
Wedge the Dookie?
Yeah, dude. Wedge.
They ain't wedging an 8-5 football team in.
No,
the
they're
college
not. But
football
if
playoff.
you get a top 15, top 17,
They might wedge
win,
Miami in there, but they ain't gonna wedge Dookie in there after
Yeah,
that.
it'll be interesting. I mean, they can't wedge Miami.
I think
in
that's
there.
Miami's way in, honestly.
It can't
Duke
be.
winning yet, sure.
You have to have 5 conference champions in there. If Duke's not in it, you have to have 2 group
Oh
of
yeah,
5.
you're right.
Miami's out. If the ACC's not like Miami's out.
You're right. Dookie taking a dump on it. What do you got for me?
All right, this one has really nothing to do with the games that are being played this weekend. It has nothing to do with the football teams in general. It has to do with Penn State. I'm going to tell you right now who Penn State's next head coach is unless it doesn't happen. They need a guy who has really nothing to lose. Is kind of just, yeah, I'll take a big job. I just got paid a bunch of money. Give me Brian Kelly as the Penn State Nittany Lions head coach. You heard it here first. Unless it doesn't
I
happen.
think they'd prefer the interim.
Who else are they going to get, man?
Matt Campbell.
Because they've been hitting home runs on all their swings so far.
I mean, you can hit a home run on 8-4 Matt Campbell.
Do you remember what Coach
I don't
McGuire?
know. Ames is beautiful, I've heard, this time of the year. So
I've never been to Iowa.
Anyone remember what Coach McGuire said the last time Texas Tech and BYU played? Anybody remember what he had to say about the Cougars?
Vaguely.
Oh, I don't know what he said about them, but it wasn't that the same week he called out Notre Dame?
Glad you brought that up, Brooks.
Yeah.
He credited BYU for joining a conference.
That's what it was.
Unlike some other teams in college football, you know which one
Foreshadowing.
I'm talking about. That's exactly what he said. So I am saying that Texas Tech and BYU are going to get together and create a plan called the Screw Over Notre Dame plan. BYU wins a close one. I mean by 1 point, like a 24-23 win
Like
this
last-
weekend against Texas Tech. Texas Tech allows it to happen just so that they can say bye-bye Notre Dame. You're out of the playoffs. You heard
And
it here
if they
first unless
don't,
it doesn't
Jonathan,
happen.
guess what? BYU's going to battle just enough to take their ball and go home. RG3, Kalani Sitake on the doorsteps of the president of the White House. You thought Steve Sarkisian was out here lobbying. Wait till the Mormons and Sitake and RG3 get a handle of this right here this weekend. You heard it here first.
We've had a lot of talks about who's going to be in after this week, who's going to be out, what teams are going to get bumped if they win. Are we going to have punishments? I'm going to tell you right now, the top 11 teams in the college football playoff ain't going nowhere. You heard it here first unless it doesn't happen.
College football is a very sacred sport. It treats all of us so well.
Holy.
So well that I don't believe that the college football forces are going to force us to watch two G5 teams make the playoffs this weekend. So give me North Texas beating Tulane, James Madison losing to Troy, and Virginia just dog-walking Duke this weekend, just to ensure that we don't have to have two G5 teams in the playoffs just because the rules say so, because the committee feels like they have to do that. No, the college football forces are too strong to allow that to happen. You heard it first unless it doesn't happen.
Got to get that major blue blood brand, Virginia, in this college football playoff. Has to happen.
I like it.
I got two more.
I've got
Three
one.
more.
I've got one more.
Oh,
So
save it. Guess what's going to happen this weekend?
Tell me.
Hanging half a hundo on the Hoosiers.
Oh.
Julian Sayin wins the Heisman on 350 yards and 5 tutties on the head top of the Indiana Hoosiers.
Damn,
You heard it here first.
50 on Indiana?
Unless it doesn't happen. Hanging half a hundo on the Hoosiers.
It feels appropriate for me to do this one next then. There's a lot of confidence around Ohio State coming in this game. Understandably so. They've been far and away the best team in college football this season from start to finish. They've been held to less than 25 points, I believe, 2 times all season. Once against Texas, once against Washington when they scored 24 and basically took their foot off the gas somewhere between the first and second quarter. Give me number 3 in the Big Ten Championship. I have the Indiana Hoosiers holding the Ohio State Buckeyes to less than 25 points. You heard it here first unless it doesn't happen.
How are they going to hold them to that fewer points when Julian Sayin throws 5 touchdowns? Doesn't make any sense.
Well, we'll see which one is
How's
right.
that happen?
We'll see which one's right.
Simpson and Stockton start a shootout in the SEC ship. The alliteration was too easy. I don't believe it to happen, but it's going to happen. You heard it here first.
All right.
A shootout in the ship.
That would be fun to watch, though.
I got one last one.
Come on, cook it up. I got a banger.
I put in a very special word this weekend. A very special one.
To Santa?
I want to take you guys back. No, better than Santa.
Well, I got a Santa story later.
Better than Santa.
I want to take you guys back to last season. The Miami Hurricanes were preparing for a primetime matchup at 10:30 p.m. against the California Golden Bears. And I sat here in this studio and reminded everybody that Fernando Mendoza was the player that everybody needed to be buying stock in. Don't you dare sleep on Fernando Mendoza. This guy is legit. This guy is talented. I was laughed at. I was mocked at, only for him to put a sweater on against Miami in that game. Now, he's the quarterback of the Indiana Hoosiers. And so I was the first one. I maybe wasn't the first one to the Mendoza hype train, but I was certainly the loudest, I would say. So Mendoza and I have a deal that he will be winning the Heisman Trophy this weekend by taking down the Ohio State Buckeyes and out-dueling Julian Sayin. You heard it here first unless it doesn't happen.
Wow.
This, honestly, for the sake of you being right about this, I hope it comes true because you have been on the Fernando Mendoza train, I think, since they beat Auburn last year.
He gave me his word.
And honestly,
So,
can I expose you a little bit?
it was a name thing.
I feel like it was simply because of the name.
Yeah.
But he bought the stock and he's held it ever since, so he absolutely deserves to take the victory.
I don't know. I told everybody about John Napier last season. I told everybody about Fernando Mendoza last year. I'm 2 for 2.
You were an Ashton Genty guy, too.
Well,
And I was Ashton Genty trained in July.
Is that guy?
So
was a
come on, man.
great clip
You
for
can
this
you can
channel.
make all the accusations you want.
no, hey, look, you've been right a handful of times. You've been wrong as well.
A lot of people think that's the Heisman, not only the Big Ten championship game, but it's the Heisman game.
Yeah, it seems that way.
But they're wrong.
Oh,
You know why?
Why?
why is that?
Because Pavia and the president press play on playoff expansion. We got a play-in game going on this weekend. You heard it here first, unless it doesn't happen.
Oh, you think we get the play-in game?
A homie can dream, right?
Yeah, hey, there's nothing wrong with dreaming.
An executive order put in place thanks to my tweet. and Pavia's tag.
That would be so crazy if that happened. The influence that we would have on college football,
Oh, my God.
or you in particular,
It
but
would be the committee. It wouldn't be a commissionership. It would be a college commissioner by committee. This three-headed monster.
I like it. I like it.
I don't think the world would. I think they want a
No,
dictator.
we would be-
I think they want an iron fist ruler.
We would be the most hated group of individuals.
We
Very
already
quickly.
are, big dog.
We're not hated.
I mean, we're partially dislikable by some.
We're not hated.
At least I am. I can't speak for you. I find myself to be occasionally unlikable,
It happens.
and that's okay. What's next? Final thoughts?
I believe we're out of, unless it doesn't happen, so it is time for final
Buddy,
thoughts.
I got final thoughts. What a tremendous weekend of college football we have set before us. If you're watching this on sub-episode, welcome in. We're glad to have you. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. We appreciate you for being here. We will have our final thoughts on the SEC Championship in our local hour. That will be another episode uploaded separately from this one. Welcome in. Let's start with the Big Ten champ. Let's start
The Big
with
Chin.
the Big. Yeah, I got one of those. Big Ten Championship. I got two of those. Boys, in my opinion, this is what I thought today. Agree or disagree with me, both here on the stage and in the chat. Indiana is a top 25 fringe roster that has coached, prepped, developed, and executed their way to a top 3 result.
I agree.
Yeah.
Wholeheartedly.
That's going to lead to them beating the shit out of Illinois. You know?
Right?
They're going to beat the hell out of Illinois.
Right.
Illinois' got a top 25 roster. They ain't got top 3 results. They ain't got top 3 execution. They ain't got top 3 effort. They ain't got top 3 schemes. They ain't got top 3 coaching. Indiana does. That's why they beat the hell up out of Illinois. But every time they face one of these top 10 fringe talent rosters, it's a dogfight. It's an absolute dogfight. And great. They can outcoach and get Illinois because they got equivalent talent and a lot, good scheme, good coaching, good execution. And they can occasionally nab Oregon. And they got Oregon this year. And that's a great job. But, guys, I think Ryan Day is inarguably the second best football coach in college football. And I think he's a whole hell of a lot closer to number 1 than whoever you might want to put up for number 3.
That's fair. I won't push back on that.
And that's the best roster in college football.
It is.
That's where I stand on this football game. So the question is, how does Indiana stand up in 4 quarters versus that roster who is really, really well coached? Well, Indiana is a simulated pressure football team. So everybody talking about this football game will probably talk about getting a saying, confuse the saying, because you ain't going to cover them. So you got to sack them. You got to confuse the quarterback. You got to get after the quarterback. You got to pressure the quarterback. Everybody's going to talk about that. Guys, the leading sack man for Indiana is a 5'11", 229-pound linebacker. I don't have to tell you what on film and show you. I can tell you based off box score, that means they are a simulated pressure attack team. That's how they get home. If their leading sack artist is the inside linebacker, they are a simulated pressure football team. I watched Ohio State for 4 quarters absolutely hammer every single simulated pressure Michigan can throw at them. I don't think that's how you get home against a team like Ohio State. Again, way too well coached, way too well prepared, way too high of an execution rate themselves. I'm really, really worried about that being, again, how they get home. You have to win against Ohio State with individual excellence and get after the quarterback that way. You can't just be, I'm going to trick them and beat them because I'm going to out-coach them and out-scheme them. 9 times out of 10, you're not. Ohio State's really, really good coached and well-coached football team. So that is a worrisome point to me. They have to bank on explosives and capitalize on every scoring opportunity that they get. Okay, that's the recipe to success for them in this game. I'm not ruling out an opportunity for Indiana to win. I'm not. I just think Ohio State's way too coached, or way too well coached, and has way too much talent and playing at a way too high of a rate right now. But if you get 5 explosives in this football game from Indiana, which you can, if you get 5 or 6 explosives, if you flip the field, you better have good opportunities to score right then and there. And you better score 7, not settle for 3. I think that's the important thing.
Yeah, there's certainly a much more uphill battle for Indiana to win this football game. I don't think you'll find any analyst out there that disagrees with that statement. There is also an avenue, like you said, for Indiana to win, however. I don't think we've seen Ohio State's worst game. I don't think we've seen them make mistakes this season.
Have you seen a bad game?
Not really. I mean, you could argue that the week 1 offensive output wasn't very good, but that's a very good Texas defense, and it was week 1. But
if they play that again, that's probably 28-21.
Yeah, it's a much higher scoring game.
Yeah.
Who knows how it results, but no, Ohio State hasn't played a bad game yet, and they might never play a bad game this season, but they could.
Mm-hmm.
I would label the Big Ten championship this weekend as the don't turn the TV off. Don't because and what I mean by that is I think that we could kind of see a replication of how the Big Ten championship went last year, where it looked like Oregon was about to boat race Penn State. Like, that game was over. You cut the TV off. Like, Oregon's got that one in the back. We don't have to worry about it. And then you get an alert on your phone that Penn State's about to tie the game up. Like, I could see it being one of those. Not saying Ohio State loses, but I could see it being one where Ohio State gets up multiple scores kind of early in the game, but Indiana just keeps fighting back.
You bring up a great point. We talked about the Big 12 game getting very, very weird every year on the conference championship. I don't know what it is about Indy, but that conference championship always has points. Either one scores, or like somebody's beating somebody 55-10, or they finna 48-35 that thing. So you're probably right. I just don't know how that happens against that Ohio State defense.
Yeah, I get that point.
You know, but you're right. It is a don't turn the TV off type of football game, you would imagine. Let's move on to the ACC championship game. Guys, a 7-5 Duke taking on the number 17 Virginia Cavaliers. These two football teams played less than a month ago. Virginia opened the football game on a 14-play scoring drive and then immediately forced a quick 3-and-out. And that was kind of foreshadowing the ultimate outcome of that football game. Scoreboard said 34-17. They doubled them up in yardage. If Virginia doesn't have 2 turnovers in that football game, I think they boat race them, honestly. But that's Duke football. If you know anything about Duke football this year, I'll lay it out right now. You probably haven't been watching this 7-5 football team that lost to UConn this month. I get it. I understand why you're not watching this football team. Virginia's the much better football team unless Duke, again, finds the turnover fairy. Guys, they have 5 losses. In those 5 losses, Duke has forced 3 turnovers. They have 7 wins. In those 7 wins, they forced 15 turnovers. Woo. Guys, they have 3 wins this year where they have 4 turnovers forced.
Sheesh. Good Lord.
That is why a 7-5 Duke football team is in the ACC championship game with a loss to UConn, because they didn't force any turnovers against UConn and they took a loss. So if Virginia plays clean, they're going to put BTA.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen.
And I think it will be BTA. And you're describing why Duke's defense has struggled so much, because that's what they bank on to happen. They don't bank on stopping you on 3rd down. They bank on the fact of, well, we're going to try and create a turnover. We're going to try and create havoc plays. And what that leads to is they give up explosives, they give up a bunch of yards, and they give up a bunch of points. I see that's how this weekend is going to go for Virginia. I think Virginia just pulls away. I think they beat down Duke yet again. I think they win the ACC championship and they lock up their playoff spot.
Yeah. It feels so much like a fever dream that we have an opportunity for a Power 4 team to win their conference championship with 5 losses and possibly make the college football playoff, or at the very least cause so much drama in it that you have to move around certain teams and maybe get 2 group of 5s in it. Like you said, Jay, well, I believe in football karma. I don't think the football gods allow this. That's my final thought on this. I think that there are going to be higher powers that be, maybe the ACC office, that stops Duke from winning this game.
Oh, dude, let my enlisted doesn't have it come true.
Oh, I hope so.
Let that ACC review booth just mystically drop a camera feed.
Oh, that'd be
I don't
beautiful.
even need the camera feed gone. Just audio. We lost to Charlotte. What's going on in Charlotte?
One glitz.
Yeah, just one. Let it happen. We riot. Man, it'll be interesting. I'm still very curious. Why would you? I mean, I don't want to be sleeping on the ACC championship game, but why would you ever try to compete with the Big Ten championship at 8 o'clock? It's a big time move right there. But don't sleep on it. Don't sleep on the Big 12.
Did you say sleep?
Or the ACC. Yeah, I said sleep.
Sleep.
Yeah, I said sleep.
How about a shout out to our friends over at Sleeper? Sleeper is a fantasy sports and real money gaming app that is focused on bringing people together through sports and gaming. It is one of the fastest organically growing platforms in the entire world, the whole globe. Look at the whole globe. That is the entire thing that Sleeper is growing it. It has over 6 million active users. Those numbers are only going up by the day. And it's earning some of the highest levels of engagement per user in the entire industry. If you head over there today and use promo code Brooks, you will get a 100% deposit match up to $100. What does that mean? You You put $100 in, you get $100 back. You put $50 in, you get $50 back. It's one of the better deals that we've seen. That, again, that is promo code Brooks. Thank you to our friends over at Sleeper.
I'm going to go ahead and tell you, in between, here in about 8 minutes, we're going to transition into the local hour. If you haven't signed up on Sleeper, you need to, because we're going to have a group play together, and everyone who joins in on it and shows proof of joining in on it has another chance to win another $100. So there's that. We got that coming up in the local hour. We're going to make a play on the SEC Championship game that everybody can ride along with over there on Sleeper. Promo code Brooks, 100% deposit match. Guys, let's transition to the Big 12 championship game. One of 3 rematches this weekend during conference championship play, BYU and Texas Tech. Guys, BYU didn't score in their first matchup. Their first and only score came with 7.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they got shut down.
They got shelled on the offensive side of the football. Complete, utter domination. Got forced into one-dimensional football, forced 2 turnovers, did Texas Tech's defense. 2 fumbles and a pick. I mean, it was just absolute domination from Texas Tech's defense. Completely took away the run. I think BYU had like 27 totes for 62 yards or something like that. It was absolute, utter shutdown from Texas Tech's defense. I didn't think BYU's defense played all that bad, though. I didn't think they had like a terrible outing. In fact, I went back and looked at it today and just checked the drive charts right quick. Guys, Texas Tech only really moved the ball, and they scored 29 points, but most of it was off of short fields. They had 3 what I would call traditional scoring drives in the entire football game. And in those 3 drives, it was really 3 explosives. It was, and one of them they settled for a field goal. It was a big shot to a wide receiver, 25-yard run here and there. The rest of it was like real methodical. Like BYU's defense showed up and played ball. I need BYU's offense to show up and play football in this one. And if their running back is healthy, I think they got a chance to do so. But yeah, man, like it was all about really 3 plays defensively and 3 or 4 plays offensively, giving the ball back to the opponent that really caused this game to be as lopsided as it was, apart from, again, Texas Tech's utter domination defensively.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And it kind of is what has led to my final thought on this game. You are like, there's no denying Texas Tech handled BYU in that game. Texas Tech won that game. But it wasn't just oh my God, they just boat raced the hell out of them. They handled them surely on that. But it also felt like there were a couple of plays where if this doesn't go Texas Tech's way, we might have a much closer game here. It's hard to beat a team twice. Absolutely. It's really hard to blow out a team twice. And that's why I think this is going to be a much closer game. The perfect example of this is last year's SEC Championship. Georgia came in and handled Texas in Austin. SEC Championship, it's a much different story. Now, obviously, there were some injuries in that game, but I think that Texas Tech and BYU have a much closer matchup.
Certified ball knower talking about Texas Tech. Certified ball knower. I just assimilate him with that. Hunter Lacey in the chat talking about Texas Tech kicked 5 field goals in that game.
Yeah.
And I think 3 of those were on the 3 short field turnovers.
Yep.
Like that BYU defense stood up in that football game, just got left out on the field by their offense.
Yeah, and I mean, if you provide all the context in that game, I mean, College game day was there. It was the biggest game in Texas Tech's schedule. It was an opportunity for them to
get a neutral here. Do you think that changes much of this?
I think it can a little bit.
Especially when you had a freshman quarterback in Bear Bachmeier.
Yeah.
Probably the biggest game he's played to date.
And not only that, it was an opportunity for Texas Tech to kind of stamp themselves as a legitimate team. Same thing for BYU, but BYU kind of feels like it's their turn to do that because they get stamped themselves inside the playoff. And I think it is worth noting that their head coach just told them that he believes in this place, that he believes in them, and he's staying. I think that kind of gives a boost of morale a little bit, if you will. So
I do think Texas Tech has the not much better roster, just they have more impactful football players that changed the game for them. Offensively, it's both running backs. Number 8 and number 20 are really, really good. Number 8's basically for you SEC fans, they're Dejon Edwards. He's the every down is going to be positive type of back. And 20 is the back that can smack you in the face with 75 yards at any moment and completely flip the field. And their tight end, number 7, is a SOB to tackle an open field. And then defensively, it's the Rodriguez kid, the number 10, the linebacker. And Romello Height, the edge rusher that transferred from Georgia Tech. He's having a great year out there, as is wherever in the hell that number 31 came from. Their other edge rusher that gets after the rock. They're really, really stout, man. And we talked about it in our film study of them. the only football team in college football right now playing base personnel defense. They got 3 linebackers on the field, 4 downs. They play 4 defensive backs.
They might be the only team that's done that in the last 3 seasons.
The only NFL team I saw recently do it was there's a lot more teams now that do it, but it's like the Cowboys, 5 years ago when they had Jalen Smith, the cat from Vander Esch, and number 51, the linebacker that was there forever, Sean, whatever his name was. Anyways, they had 3 borderline Pro Bowl linebackers, so they felt like they had to play them all, and 2 of them were avatars in the form of Jalen Smith and Vander Esch.
Witherspoon, wasn't it?
Sean Lee.
That's who it was.
Sean Lee. But yeah, that was 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Everybody else has been playing nickel ever since. So yeah, it's a fun defense to watch. I just wonder if BYU has an opportunity to challenge them with speed at number 3.
Yeah.
Dude, that's what you have to do. If they want to play 3 linebackers, put your fastest wide receiver at the slot, make that guy overextend, and see what he can do. But I don't know if BYU's got that. BYU's got that Jace Roberts kid, the wide receiver that's 6'5", 220.
Just go 5 wide, no huddle until one of them pukes.
And only run the ball through Bear Bachmeier's quarterback draw.
There you go.
We just explained Oklahoma offense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Really quickly. We good?
Yeah.
Local hour?
I've got one more final thought on this.
Oh.
I think this could be, and there is no in between here. This will either be one of the least impactful conference championship weekends we've ever had. There's a really good chance that we look up and we say, oh, every team that played on Saturday is still in the playoff, and seeding hasn't really changed that much, and some teams have home playoffs and some teams don't, but other than that, nothing really happened. Or it's going to be one of the most consequential conference championship weekends in that you get teams that are left out because of it. You get certain aspects of it. You get 2 group of 5 teams into where everyone says, you know what, this system isn't working at all. We have to blow this up entirely. You get schedule changes. There's already teams that are on the outside looking in that are unhappy. So it's either going to be something where we go, you know what? Conference championship weekend didn't really mean anything, or we say, oh my God, this was the powder keg that started a whole nother argument and a whole nother problem for this sport.
Absolute bombshell or absolute nothing burger?
Yeah. No in between.
We love it. We also love the fact that we have a whole nother hour coming up right here on the Film Guy Network, and most importantly, it's the local hour, but it's a really important local hour. It's SEC Championship weekend. We have a whole hour coming up on Alabama versus Georgia. See you over there on the other side of the break.
Welcome into Talk the Dog, the show where we find a bone to pick and a take to give. These are not hot takes. These is dog takes. Can I talk that dog? What's up? You like that? You really like that? Let's shut up and grind some tape.
6:30 then.
That's fine. I'll be coming from Atlanta. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back into the Film Guy Network for what is setting up to be the most important hour of the weekend. It is hour 14 of live streaming around here, and I'm going to tell you right now, it's the best hour. It's going to be the best hour we got. We're going to pour it out over the next 60 minutes talking some ball, and then right after that, we're going to pour it out some more with some film study. We got a film study debuting at 10 o'clock here on the network. It is the local hour. We've got final thoughts. Marchese flips to Michigan. We'll talk about it here at the top of the hour. We watched Alabama's defense today. We will preview that before it goes live at 10 o'clock. We got a Less It Doesn't Happen local hour edition here on the show as well. Colin Klein just signed to become the head coach at K-State, so that's good. Shout out to Colin Klein. Big-time hire there for the Wildcats. Get an alumnus to come back and coach that football team, and a guy who's on the climb in the coaching circuit. That guy balled out as an offensive coordinator.
Did you say the climb or the Klein?
Bang. Absolute home run right there. Christian
That's so
Kirby.
bad. I'm not proud of that.
Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. We got all kinds of stuff. We got a Christian Kirby rant tonight that I'm excited for.
Yes.
We got an ISO ball. Little shout out to Kobe. Clear out, boys. I'm gonna take
GTFO offense.
That's right. Just gonna get the F on out of here. Transition. Brady Marchese Casey?
You were
Brady
so
Marchese?
close.
You had it in the intro.
Dude, I had it pregame.
You had it in the intro.
Like, hey, honest to God, sources told me Brady decided to flip to Michigan because he didn't feel like listening to the fathead dude mispronounce his name for 4 years.
So
I would believe it.
man,
I
you're
would
on a,
too.
You're on a roll. You got
Marchese.
there it
There
is.
you
Brady
go.
Marchese going to Michigan. No recruitment ever shut down. Is that what we learned today?
I guess.
I mean, buddy, we're like 2 months removed from a month removed from I'm shutting my recruitment down. Michigan stopped calling.
I mean, there was like a month there earlier in the season where there was like 4 or 5 Georgia commits that shut down.
Just
their
shutting it down,
recruitment.
and we went 4 for 5.
Yeah.
Okay, so it wasn't shut down. Michigan gets in there late, flips it over. Now, first and foremost, I heard a lot of people about like, hey, got the bag. I don't know if he was getting a bag from Georgia. So if he got a bag, he got a bag. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean,
Most importantly, I think for the young man, you got playing time.
Oh, for
You're
sure.
going to
Yeah.
play at Michigan. That's what, if you want to play, that's what you need to do. You need to go play at Michigan.
Yeah, and I mean, that was kind of a talking point we had about considering what Georgia did in the 2025 class at wide receiver. You really just needed to pile on some more like really good players, not guys that you have to require them to be good the day they get on campus or be ready to play when they get on campus, but just enough guys to like, hey, if we need to call his number, we know what we're going to get out of him, and he is going to be ready eventually. Michigan, on the other hand, you could kind of see it in the Ohio State game. They need dudes. They need dudes at wide receiver. Brady Marchese is a dude at wide receiver. He going to play for him.
yeah, I mean, it's a great get for Michigan. Solid decision for Brady. Very happy for him. It's also one of the things where if you're Georgia, this isn't something where your heart is ripped out right now. And I don't want to demean the kid, and I don't want it to talk down him as a recruit. This isn't a position that Georgia's necessarily hurting at. This isn't somewhere where it's like, good God, we don't know what we're going to do here for this. We're going to have to, get scraps in the portal. Like, they're okay right now. So I think it's an understandable move for both parties.
I mean, it's compounded, Vance Spafford and this. It's very similar football players. We felt like Brady was a little bit better. Thought Brady was thicker, had more muscle mass on him, probably could last a little bit longer in terms of a physicality in the SEC level, right? That's what we felt about him yesterday during National Signing Day. So it wasn't like he wasn't a meaningful portion of the class.
Right.
But what you guys are talking about is this is a curved miss. This was a curved addition anyways. This was a guy that was going to come in and have to wait 2 years before he was even in line. Like, guys, we still got to go through the Jacoby White Helton era of slot receiving at Georgia. We still very much so have to go through that. So there's a lot to be had at the wide receiver position, and there's a lot of room to curve misses. Now, continuing the National Signing Day conversation briefly, because we got a lot to talk about tonight. There is some left after National. It's still not closed. Early National Signing window is not closed. Some of these guys we're going to talk about here in a second could ultimately still sign with schools that they're committed to. But there's some big names that are committed but did not sign yesterday that are still up for grabs technically. Like if you want to swoop in. Chris Henry Jr. is not an option, obviously, for obvious reasons. But I don't, and for the same reasons, I don't think Calvin Russell's an option. The Syracuse commit that didn't sign yesterday. Apparently Miami's not in the mix there. So I don't know what it is or who it is that is messing with a Syracuse commit, but somebody is. I don't think it's you. Is that safe to assume?
Yeah.
But there's crazier things that have happened, and here's why. South Florida, 6'4", wide receiver. That's got James Coley written all over it.
Absolutely.
That's like James Coley's MO. That's like his brainchild when he thinks of a wide receiver. He from South Florida, he's 6'4", he mine. That's like normally. So I don't know. I'm just saying. It's a thought. Trenton Henderson, you need twitch. You need an edge rusher. You need a body. 6'4", 225 committed to LSU, maybe up for grabs. I don't know. Don't think so. Out of the grabs. The Calvin Russell thing could be an LSU thing too, right? Deuce Gerald's committed to LSU right now. Maybe trying to decide. But Blake Baker's staying. So what's going on there? Interesting thing there from the Georgia standpoint. I don't know how much you ever really recruited him. I don't know how much you ever showed him love. So you'd have to play from behind really, really quickly. And I'm not saying you do, but I think what you did this class, instead of paying for a blue chip prospect like Deuce, you just took who is a 6'1", 285-pound super freak. You just took Anthony Lonin, who's a 6'1", 285-pound freak. You know what I mean? I think that's what you did there. We talked about that pre-show between Jonathan and I. Kenny Darby, wide receiver out of Mississippi, committed to Mississippi State, 6 foot, 178 pounds, burner. Maybe if you need a slot, like if you're that bad of a body.
I mean, that's
or you just take whatever $200,000 that you were giving Brady Marchese and you just toss it to the portal. Marchese. You just toss it to the portal. Brady, if you're like, I swear to God, I'm not doing this on purpose. It's not a troll. I'm not messing with you. I just am a little bit stupid. I wanted to say something. I want to say another word. But yeah, I got something wrong with me. I've been hit way too many times in the head. I think that's what it is. Sorry.
It's all right.
It does seem like
talk to Xavier McLeod. You know? Yeah. What are some other notorious
Jalen
ones?
Kimber.
Talk to Jalen Kimber.
Jalen Kimber, yes.
Who I always call Dalen Everett Jalen Kimber. Is that what happened?
For like the first 5 film studies this season, anything Dalen Everett was, and Jalen Kimber appears like, he's been on the roster for 2 years.
I promise I'm not. It's, I also swore I would never have to wear this again, but that guy keeps saying this.
Yeah.
That guy keeps saying this. We don't even sell this shirt, and I might have to start selling this shirt because the dude keeps saying this.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Most of the time when people say that, they are in fact not close.
No. And it's, again, very, very – Hugh Freeze obviously lacks self-awareness and obviously doesn't have the internet because people have been making fun of him for that forever, since like week 3, the so dang close thing. All right. Anyways.
Georgia does seem like they're always good for like 1 or 2 additions, like on the actual signing day in February. Seems like they always grab like 1 or 2 bodies at that point in the year. And
yeah.
So I'm sure.
The February round?
Yeah, like to just close it out. It seems like they always find 1 or 2 guys that they're like, oh, yeah, we'll definitely and happily take you.
You know what I'm curious right now?
What are you curious about right now?
I'm curious because are they operating under 105 or are they operating under 85?
That's a great question.
That's a very good question.
Don't know.
While
know
you're
the answer
looking
to that
up, we have a typical Wednesday segment that we do that happens basically as soon as we open the show that we didn't get to do last night because we obviously were not on air at 9 p.m. The injury report got released.
The injury report. There's a lot on there.
There's a lot for Bama, and there's since
been
been
out of nowhere.
Yeah, there's since been an update for Georgia. So if you're a Georgia fan, the players that are listed as out in this game go as follows: Colby Young, Ethan Barbour, Bo Walker, Kyron Jones, Jordan Hall, Drew Bobo. Drew Bobo's obviously. What are you doing?
I'm about to make a phone call because I need to make a phone call. Are y'all operating under 85 or 105? That's a complicated question. Both.
Enjoy the phone call. We'll hold it down while we do it. No, but like I said, it's kind of the usual suspects. Obviously, not having Drew Bobo there isn't necessarily a surprise. It does suck, though. Zion Branch has been added to this injury report as of today. He is listed as questionable. So with Kyron Jones out, Zion Branch obviously stepped up in a big way this season when KJ Bolden got ejected. You're pretty thin at safety right now, so you can't afford to lose your Corey Thomas, can't afford to lose KJ. You're going to have to start scrambling if one of those players go down, so that'll be something interesting to watch. For as much as you think Georgia's banged up, Alabama is just as, if not more, banged up. They have, it looks like 7 players listed as out. One of those biggest ones is LT Overton. He is who would be going opposite of the center in that game. He's typically their 0. Malachi Tolliver was kind of the worry about, like, how is he going to handle this in his first true start against a Power 4 opponent. LT Overton not being there is huge for Georgia. They're also missing a handful of players. Running back Jam Miller is listed as questionable. Cam Dewberry is listed as questionable. Josh Cuevas is listed as questionable. And Danny Lewis Jr. is also listed as questionable. So you're going to get 2 very, very banged-up teams in this SEC championship matchup, as you'd expect.
And interesting, too, because based on what I've seen is it's not just LT Overton that is banged up, which this has been classified as an illness, by the way. So don't know what's going on there.
Is that publicly reported?
That's what I saw on Twitter, is that it's labeled as an illness. But Kelby Collins as well, not going to play, which I don't think he played against Auburn. Brooks and I were talking about that pre-show. But, yeah, I mean, it is 2 banged-up football teams, so both teams can't be using this.
The LT Overton thing must have happened in the last 36 hours because he was made available to media on Tuesday after practice.
Yeah, something weird happened.
He was in full pads, and he was talking about how excited he was to play in this football game.
See, Ryan says he has pneumonia.
All right, so he's out. He'll be out for this football game due to a non-injury. All reports.
I don't know if you heard this because you were on a phone call. Zion Branch has been added to this report as questionable.
Okay.
So that's kind of
That must have been a shoulder ding in practice or something.
Something
along
like
those lines.
that.
So it rolled an ankle.
Yeah.
Something.
It is something to pay
going on
attention
there.
to.
That's
though.
new.
Yes.
Since
Yes,
you
he
refreshed it.
since
That wasn't
today.
there last night.
It was
That
not there
today.
last night. It was there today.
All right, and Parker Brailsford was not listed
Parker
on anything.
Yeah, he hasn't been on the injury report.
Okay, so he just toughened that
They
thing
just gonna
out.
tough it out, baby.
That's the only ball knowers know about that one. Only tape watchers know that 72's not himself right now.
Yeah.
Boy, if
Do
you miss,
Bama fans know that?
I'm pretty
If
sure
they've watched our
they're aware.
channel this week, they know that he's not playing and moving like
Mm-hmm.
he normally does. If you watch that Georgia rewatch that we did the other day, 72 looks like daggone prime Jason Kelsey. And then you go watch that game against Auburn, he's playing on 1 foot. So it's a totally different situation there. Cam Dewberry played against Auburn and is now on the list. He's out, right? Is he out or questionable?
Cam Dewberry is listed as questionable. So the 4 questionable players are J.M. Miller, Cam Dewberry, Josh Cuevas, and Danny Lewis Jr. Now there's
I don't expect Cuevas to play.
Yeah, I don't think Alabama people are expecting him to play.
there's tea leaves that Cuevas and J.M. Miller will not be playing in this game. They are still listed as questionable officially. So and obviously Alabama has no trepidation of listing players as out. They've got 8 listed as out for this game. So there's a small chance they play. However, does not appear optimistic from either side.
It'll be interesting. I got a lot more of that about that in our final notes. Spoiler alert. Ain't no sympathy for folks that are banged up this time of year. That's the way it is. This is football. Okay, football hurts. Football is painful. Football is injuries. My dad used to tell me all the time, injuries are just as much a part of this sport as first downs and turnovers. It happens.
Yep.
There are no excuses. That's why when people start talking about further expansion, the first thing I think of is 18 games. Y'all already asking kids to play 16 right now. That's a lot. So there is that.
And with that said, neither side better be talking about injuries after this game. Whatever the result is, neither fan base should be saying, well, we didn't have so-and-so. Buddy, neither team had a bunch of players.
And again, I'm telling you, not able to use the excuse moving forward.
My bad.
It's where we're at. It's where we're at in the point of this season where it is what it is. You're going to be banged up unless you are just the luckiest team that ever walked the face of the earth.
Or you've just dog walked everyone you've played, and
Or you
haven't had
just
to
dog
string.
walked everybody you played and got to selectively sit teams against conference opponents like Rutgers. Unless you got to do that.
Yeah.
But we don't live in that world. We live down here in Southeastern Conference football. That's where we live. I got notes on Bama's defense. Y'all want these?
Let's hear these notes.
Let's hear these notes. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Fire off in the chat. Fire off in the chat. Big dubs in the chat. We love the chat. Amen?
Amen.
This is actually perfect, so I can get this Zion Branch article out.
Okay. They're losing down-to-down excellence with LT Overton. Down-to-down excellence. That's what I equivalent him with. Obviously, they're losing a top 90 player. It's a big loss. He's a great football player. And I do think they become a little bit more stretchable with him out. Not that you guys, being Georgia, are a big wide zone football team, but if you want to capture an edge this weekend, it got easier. It got easier because 22 is not on the field. They will replace him with number 94 and number 11. Both are redshirt sophomores. Both have played football this year. They have played a lot of snaps. They're also down Kelby Collins in this football game, who would be one of these football players that would alleviate some of these losses. So they're down 2 defensive ends. Now, these defensive ends that they're playing are just as big, but they don't have the football instincts that 22 has. That play on 4th down against Cash Jones, the tackle, that's all football instincts. That's all reading and reacting and playing. All right, that is over time we get that, but we're also born with that. LT's been born with that. For people who don't remember, LT, I talked about it last night. LT would have been the number 1 overall player in the 2023 class. He reclassed into 2022 and was still a top 50 player. This is a great football player, all right? And he's not easily replaced. So that is worth noting. They're too big and too physical, but not as instinctual are those 94 and 11, the replacements. The linebackers over there at Alabama are playing really, really good football right about now. And I'm talking about the box players. I'm not talking about the hybrid float players. I'm not talking about the jacks. All right, for you Alabama fans listening, I'm not talking about Yanze Pierre. I'm not talking about Quay Rousseau. We'll get to those guys in a second. I'm talking about the off-ball linebackers. All right, the guys who are filling gaps, plugging gaps, running, covering, doing everything. And that's Justin Jefferson. That's Deontay Lawson. Pull a roster up for me and get the name of number 41 because he's playing great football too. I haven't seen a trigger on counter like I saw from 41 on tape today. And we're going to show you that at 10 o'clock. He runs his face through somebody. And it's
Nakai Hill Green.
Nakai Hill Green.
Nakai
Hill Green playing great football right about now. 42, Yanze Pierre. He's as good of a playmaker as you will play until you play Arvell Reese. He is as good of a difference maker as you will play in the box until you play Arvell Reese. I wholeheartedly believe that. Now, you guys at Georgia have experience with this. Okay, y'all have practice with this. I'm talking to you, offensive line, especially you, Malachi Tolliver, especially you, Micah Morris, especially you, whoever's playing right guard. Is a rotating door between Juan Gaston and Donnie Glover. Donnie Glover and Juan Gaston don't have a history at this. It's basically Jalen Walker at 6'3". Like, he's a little twitchier. He's a little taller. He's maybe not as much of a muscle hamster. But this idea of, I don't know where he's at. I don't know where he's going to come from. But I know he's going to impact this play. That's what 42's got going on. So, however teams designed against you guys when you had Jalen, you need to figure something out here. Because he's playing, in my opinion, much higher level football than a player like Quay Rousseau was playing in the last 2 preps that you've had for this football team. Last 3 preps, really. Quay's been banged up the entire time. This kid is now playing free. He's not thinking anymore. He's playing ball. He's playing ball at a really, really high rate. I think Ford's playing good too. I do. I think Quay Rousseau's playing good ball. He's just not quite himself yet. We showed a clip, you'll see at 10 o'clock, where, dude, that right leg's still sticking in the ground. It's not moving and firing even as much as the left foot is. Like, it's very apparent which one of his legs is still somewhat bothering him, but still playing really, really good ball. And that's the 2 now. So that's a problem with regards to depth when you play this football team. I think 2 and 5, Xavier Brown and Dejon Lee are playing really, really good, confident zone football right now at the cornerback position. They're playing really, really highly impactful football as well. All right, when the ball is thrown near them, they don't just have an opportunity to dislodge it. They got opportunity to, like, make a play on the ball. And Dejon Lee, if you haven't seen him, guys, that kid's 6'5". He's 200. I'd say he's 205. Like, he's thick at that size. Almost like a Greg Blue build on this cat at 6'5", if you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Come on
now. Big boy.
Oh, that's bad.
And that's part of the reason why they don't play as much man-to-man coverage anymore, because I would never want that kid playing man. I want that kid covering an entire third of the field, and good luck throwing over there, because they got basically a tight end who runs like a corner out there playing ball. Like, I ain't trying to play with that. They're peaking right about now. They're playing really, really good ball. Speaking of, the 2 safeties at Ohio State, clear. They're better. But this is the second best tandem of safeties in college football. Bray Hubbard and Keon Saab, they're playing great ball.
They're playing incredible.
Playing great ball. They mix and disguise coverage really well, and they do it late. It's probably the latest stemming football team we've studied this year. They don't forecast it neither. It'll happen on the fly as the ball is snapped. Zone football team that plays one man with pressure. They don't play zero. They play one high man, and they pressure. They don't blitz, from what I have seen. Now, this all gets tilted in the red zone. You got to understand that. When we get in the red zone inside the 5, everybody's a zero blitz football team. Everybody is, okay? They are a one-man pressure football team, however, most of the time. But they're a base cover 3 football team. My game plan would be to establish the run and take shots downfield, use the screen game, extension of the run game, to both widen them out, all right, and suck them up, okay? I want them to do this and this. That's what I want them to do. Because as they do this, I can do this in the run game, and as they do this, I can do this in the pass game. Do we all understand there? Mm-hmm. By the way, you're laughing. I think that's my gift. My gift is taking something that is super complex with regards to game planning and doing it like that.
No, you paint a picture.
Yeah.
You're definitely
a lot of football knowledge just came right there.
A picture that everybody could envision in their mind.
Some people may have seen different pictures.
No matter how you get the message across, the message has been received.
There you go. They're my notes right there. Hopefully that brings them up and you can spread them out.
I think that's like the biggest talking point for me, like heading into this game, and why I think that this game is going to be different than the first time around, is that both defenses have been playing so well in the second half of the season, and they both have improved. So I think that this is going to be more of a defensive battle than the first time around. That's how I think this one's going to be a little bit different. And you saw that in the Texas-Georgia rematch last year where it was a defensive battle between those two teams, and then Georgia was able to make more offensive plays in the second half.
And it's interesting, though, because I know that Alabama's offense was incredible in that first matchup. It kind of felt like a defensive matchup in last game, in my opinion, as well. You know, Alabama had 3 really, really good drives and then a field goal to cap off the end of the half. But other than that, Georgia scored 1 touchdown in the second half. Alabama did not score points. So it was kind of like it was a defensive battle.
Yeah,
so
it turned into that.
You might even get him. I think there's an avenue where these both offenses have an opportunity to score points. So
I'm taking the under. I don't even know what it's set at. What is it set at?
Like 48.
Ooh. Never mind. I mean, I got it 24-21, but I ain't trying to sweat that thing.
No.
Let me see.
Yeah, 48's not a lot. I mean, so your analysis would be correct then, because Vegas agrees with you. That's going to be a defensive struggle, but
I just think they're too good.
48.5.
Whose defense is better?
that's a tough question. It's 2 different defenses.
Well, you're going to say the same analysis when I ask you whose offense is better, too. They're 2 totally different
I think
offenses.
Alabama's offense is better.
Okay.
It's hard.
Do I?
Yeah, I know. They're so one-dimensional.
Yeah.
How can you say that?
But they're so good at the one thing they do.
But they're so great at the one thing that they do.
I don't know, man. It's
even.
This
It
goes
is a deadlock matchup.
This is why it goes to. This is a coin flip. I have a 0 on the confidence meter. It's why all of these things like.
Heading into this matchup, Georgia has a better defense, in my opinion. Heading into this weekend, Georgia has a better defense. I think Georgia's more well-rounded. I think Alabama does a really good job of making more impactful plays.
I think Bama has the better defense. Georgia has the better matchup.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
For what Bama struggles with, the inability to run the football, I feel like that's going to allow Georgia to hyper-focus on stopping the pass. Whereas with Alabama's defense, there's nothing to hyper-focus on with Georgia's offense. Can't take one thing away.
I will say this. I mean, like you want to talk about being really good at one thing. Georgia is really, really good at taking the run game away. They have done it the entire year. Alabama has been gettable in the run game. So based on that fact, I would say that Georgia probably is a better defense in my opinion because you can bank on that happening, especially in this matchup.
Yeah, this is true. I don't know, man.
I want some unless it doesn't happen. That's what I want.
Ooh, I like this.
I want some unless it doesn't happen. Y'all boys better cook. I got 3 of them.
I have 4.
Oh, let's hear them.
All right, the first one. There was a lot of controversy coming out of this game.
Controversy.
From the fan standpoint of perhaps some fans saying some derogatory things to players on the team who may or may not have made mistakes. It was very unfortunate to hear about, very unfortunate for that player had to deal with it. Since then, that player who has done so has been the best running back on the football team. Give me it coming full circle in this game. Give me the Nate Frazier redemption game. Give me 150 all-purpose yards, 2 total touchdowns.
Bar for bar, note for note. That was one of my unless it doesn't happen.
No way. We didn't even
Nate Frazier gets his get-back game. Give me Nate Frazier rushing for over 150 yards in the matchup.
Look at that, dude. Me and Jay were on the same wavelength over here.
Let it rip. Come on.
Bama beats Bulldogs with a Bernard double pass. You heard it here first. Jeremy Bernard, touchdown pass.
Like that's how they win the game, or they're just going to get them one time?
Just going to get them one.
Okay.
Just going to get them one.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I got another trickeration coming up here in a second.
I am 2 for 2 on these predictions right here, on this very prediction. So let's try and make it 3 for 3 this weekend. Georgia's defense absolutely locked down on 3rd down this weekend. I said it going into the Florida game. I said it going into the Mississippi State game. Both times Georgia was absolute straps on 3rd down. I think it happens again this Saturday. Give me Alabama converting under than 30% of their 3rd down attempts this weekend.
Wow.
I'll stay away from that one because I think it's going to be one that you're going for. I think that this game has been advertised a lot as the defensive matchup. These are two really, really solid defenses against two offenses that have proven that at times they can be kind of sputtered. I think we get the exact opposite of this game. Give me both teams scoring 30 points in a shootout. You heard it here first, unless it doesn't happen.
It's not a winner-go-home football game for
It is not.
Georgia.
Really for either team if you look at the odds.
Got some cushion. Kirby outsmarts DeBoer. Second fake field goal in Smart's tenure. You heard it here first. Unless it doesn't happen.
Last time a fake field goal was called was?
I don't know.
Sugar Bowl against Baylor.
We had to do research on that earlier.
Anybody want to know who converted it? Let's see if chat can get this. Who converted the fake field goal for Georgia in the Baylor matchup?
All I know is I took a selfie with RIP Vince Dooley that day and saw Matt Rule doing his I take laps pregame, break a sweat. That was kind of cool. And I also told Todd Blackledge that Todd's Taste of the Town not being on television anymore was an absolute crime to humanity. And guess what's back on television now?
Todd's Taste of the Town.
He's tasting town left and right.
Look at that, man.
Jake Camarda, by the way.
There you go. Jake Camarda with the little run game action.
Josh Skelton got it.
Found the gap. Converted the first down.
Impressive.
Typically, I feel like in like Kirby signature wins, like big-time moments, big-time games, I feel like a lot of times in these games, there's like a moment in the game that goes absolutely viral on social media. And I'm not talking about Kirby making a face or doing the belt action after a game or anything like that. I'm talking about like you get a moment in the game where like Kirby Smart and Glenn Schumann just absolutely dial something up defensively, and the whole world is like, oh my gosh, Kirby Smart, Glenn Schumann, they cooked. Like I can remember from the Georgia-Texas game in the regular season, there was a play that did this.
Knew he cooked.
And everybody was talking about Jalen Walker after the game because of how they use him, all that stuff. Like I think if Georgia wins this game, you're going to get one of those moments of everybody's like, this is where Kirby and Glenn Schumann cooked. They had him. They had him in that moment. They knew it. So you heard it here first unless it doesn't happen.
You stole kind of one of mine. We were on the same wavelength of I think that you're going to get some kind of trick play. I don't know if it's a fake field goal, but when Kirby Smart kind of feels like he's playing with house money, he'll throw caution to the wind a little bit, whether we saw it last year in the SEC Championship. Fake field or a fake punt inside your own 25. We've seen a couple of fake punts in the SEC Championship. So I think that you're going to get something like that, whether it be a double pass, whether it be something interesting. You're going to get some trickery from Kirby Smart this game.
The tape. Then we'll go to that.
The tape.
Grind the tape. The tape.
Hey,
the tape.
in case you guys didn't know, Film Guy is premiering a film study in 30 minutes.
Yep,
So.
30 minutes. We got a film study being premiered here on the network. That means hard network out for the first time, long time on this network.
Well, we usually are out of here by 10. Anyway.
We are. We try to be,
We
cautious
try to be
of everybody else's time.
Poignant for the people.
Yeah, poignant. We're going to go to the board right now and watch the most recent commit. It's a wide receiver commit. Give me a name here again.
Aiden Starling from Texas.
Aiden Starling from Texas. Now, guys, I wasn't expected to go to the board today, so I wore my chain. Hopefully it doesn't mess with the microphone. Give me this here tape, if you don't mind there, Jay.
Ooh,
Waiting on ads.
Waiting on ads. Gosh darn it, Huddle. Did you not get enough money from this place yesterday?
Right.
I mean,
Actually,
good
we got to a
Lord.
point where I wasn't even getting ads anymore.
Yeah, no, if you watch enough Huddle, they'll stop throwing ads at you. I got to that point Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday during the stream. We've been watching a lot of Huddle around these parts lately. So dang close to being able to afford a Huddle account. Never mind. I will never, ever give these people that kind of money. You know how much money they want for full access to Huddle? You know how much it costs to get every clip of every game from a prospect that you want to watch?
$3,000.
It's an annual subscription, 20 racks a year.
Ooh,
20 racks a year. Every college football program in America pays it because they have to.
That's crazy.
It's goofy is what it is. All right, let's watch the tape. Oh, we're playing big-time ball. Look how big this stadium is. That's the first thing I always look at. It's like big-time stadium out in Texas.
Yeah, I figured this guy was going to have some speed. I think he's listed at like 6 foot, 185 pounds.
So he rolling, huh? Oh, yeah, we're about to have a mega star bump coming our way. By the way, we checked his social media prior to the show. Kid's been dying to be a dog for a minute is what it looks like.
I thought I checked out his Twitter after he committed, and
Yeah.
someone hit him with a LOL 3-star. posted a screenshot of Lat McConkey's recruiting profile.
Attaboy. He a dog. Good little pirouette right there, finding the ball. I like these unis they got going on, too. I'm surprised Kirby hasn't said anything about him yet. He's a baby blue guy. I would have liked to see you go away from your body there.
Chat saying he ran a 4.48.
Yeah, no, he can burn. I would have liked to see him high point this football, though. I don't want to watch you let this come into your chest right here. We're going to get that broken up in college. I want to see you high point that football, snatch it away from the DB. Good delay right here. I mean, oh, my Lord. What is the corner doing right there?
Yeah, that's
What's the corner doing?
just because you're playing zone doesn't mean you completely ignore the wide receiver, brother.
Same thing there. Why don't you squeeze a little bit there, corner? Good Lord. That's way outside. You got to be working back in, right? Yeah.
Good to
Dig
see
on the
there's
back
some
line.
route running. Like typically
All
when
right.
you get these burners, it's
Kirby,
just,
sorry, go ahead.
I was saying, well, typically when you get a guy that has speed at wide receiver, it's just bombs all day long. But you're seeing
So-
some route running.
We talked about this the other day with on our Alabama-Georgia film study. Ellis Robinson got beat on a slant, okay, with Jeremy Bernard basically lining up like way inside over here. And this is a prime example. When I saw this, if you roll the clip back, I said he's breaking inside. He's probably running a slant. Reason being, we're all the way outside the numbers right here. Okay, there is no way for us to work to a pylon fade right here. There's no way for us to work a double move and work outside. We are coming back inside when we line up this far outside. So our leverage and alignment at wide receiver dictate what we might be doing post-snap. We can always collect information. Okay?
I can, dude. Like,
All right, again, I want to see you fight back to the football here. Ooh, great stop. Great stop. Great job stopping your momentum.
way to use hands as well.
See, now we're lined up inside, probably working to the pylon here. See, I mean, it's just, come on. Guy knows ball. All right, there we go. It's a great football player. We got a long way to go, though. Long way to go. I don't even, like, I got questions yesterday. It's like, is it too early to ask you about 2027? Hell yeah. Way too early. Way too early to ask me about 2027. Way too early to ask me if that kid sticks. Way too early to ask me about anything. Jonathan made a great point pre-show. Wait until that kid does get his 4-star bump. I'm sure Steve Sarkisian going to be calling. Going, what in the hell we got going on? Why we got a kid down here, you know, whoever knows Texas going out here to University of Georgia. Can't be having that. So, yeah, the commitment is legit according to Rivals. So, yeah, it's legit. Ain't got a Go Dogs tweet yet, though, have we?
Have not gotten the Kirby Smart Go Dogs tweet.
You know, might be busy.
Yeah, a little busy probably.
Fair to say might be busy. Coach might be busy. Could you imagine being the assistant that has to walk in and go, hey, Coach, don't forget to tweet Go Dogs.
Hit us with a Go Dogs real quick, Coach.
Jonathan, if you don't get the hell up out of my office right now, I'm going to fire you. We got Bama coming up. Coach the team. Thought that was also a great thing for Summerall the other day. Got a boy. He's got 2 offices, does Summerall. Do you know this?
No.
I would have this as well. I love this idea. I wish I had this here. He's got 2 offices. One office is his show office. It's where he brings in recruits. It's where he brings in, you know, people that need to see the nice office. Then he's got his office, his work office, that looks like a bomb went off because it's supposed to. And the last thing he sees as he leaves his his work office, is coach the team, which means, yeah, you need to recruit your butt off, but you need to be where you need to coach this football team, coach the team. I would imagine Kirby Smart right now, after National Signing Day concluded, is doing everything in his sole possibility he can to coach this team. Okay, so there's that. Are we still in the midst of it? Are we gotten to a lesson doesn't happen local hour? We already dumped that.
We've done that.
Damn, I forgot one.
What'd you forget?
Taylor taking the top off.
Oh,
Taylor, maybe.
is that
Look,
breaking-
so here's what I told Discord today. Kid dressed out last week, right? Been rumored to be trying to work his way back into the mix. This, I think, is a different freshman. It's a different football player. They treated him like that before he was hurt. He was early in the rotations, early in the shot opportunities. They were trying to get this guy playing time and opportunities way early on because obviously he did something early on in his career to earn those opportunities. Normally, the history of Kirby Smart says you got to break glass, then you got to get opportunities, then you get your work when you come back from injuries. But if there were ever somebody to defy it in a situation where it needs to be defied, it might be this one. You see what I'm saying? I think there might be an opportunity where if there's ever a Calvin Russell officially signed with Syracuse. Good for Fran. Really, really good for Fran right there.
Big get right
I bet
there.
that was scary. But anyways, I think it could be, maybe an opportunity to get the kid back out there.
Yeah, I mean,
By the way,
if you ever want to get him to break a mental block and never have the mental block ever again, go get him a deep shot this weekend against Alabama after he dropped the one he did against Alabama the first time around.
yeah, also just worth noting, not on the injury report.
Not on the injury.
Not listed as out, not listed as questionable, not listed as probable, so
full go.
he's got the green light.
Maybe. What's next?
Final thoughts, I believe.
Our final thoughts on the game.
Do we have 23 minutes left of final thoughts?
We gonna fill them. We gonna fill them.
No, let's not do final thoughts. I want to do this sleeper prop. I want to do this. Jonathan, throw that screen share up, and not the screen share. Throw the main one up that tells people what we got going on, because I want to walk through with the audience what we have available for us, what the fine folks at Sleeper have given us the opportunity to do, which is get along a play together. All right, we're going to get in on this action together. All right, if you haven't signed up at Sleeper yet, now's the perfect time. Use the code on the screen right now that you see, promo code Brooks, all right, to get a free $20. No deposit required. All right, plus first-time users also receive a 100% deposit match up to $100. All right, and you'll give yourself a chance at 1,000x payout. Now, here's the key today. We are about to make a play together on this SEC championship game. Walk through it, take the chat's opinions, do everything, all right? Get in on this action. And then everyone, as you can see right there, step one, trail our community slip on Sleeper, the pick that we're about to make together. Then step two, email a screenshot of your picks to sleeperpicks, that's HMA, sleeperpicks@gmail.com, all right, for another chance at another free $100 giveaway. All right, so let's go ahead and I'll share my screen for you, Jonathan. Give me 1 second, and then we can get in on the action. All right? Now, these prop plays are difficult, but when you got expert analysis like, well, we finna lay down, you might have a better opportunity to do so. All right, let me get over here to Sleeper. 1 second, Jonathan. Don't be sharing my screen yet. All right?
Share screen. Out him. I want to see the cool
Don't
stuff.
be doing that. So we love live programming around these parts. Here we
Damn,
go.
you got a lot of apps on your phone.
Chill out, bro. Chill out, bro.
It's not bad. It's
I
not.
know. I do have a lot of apps
Act like
on
I'm
my phone.
doxing you.
All right, you know what I love? All right, is my screen being shared now?
It is.
You know what I love about Sleeper? This tab up here at the top. You go right to college football. All right, and then if you scroll at the top up here, you can see Georgia and Alabama, and we can pick this specific game individually. All right, let's start with passing yards, boys. Now remember, if we like one of these plays, we can't also tag it with the wide receiver. So if we like the play, we got to stick with the play and stay with the play. All right. Is that working correctly? Yeah, it is now. All right. So any of these passing yards numbers we like, Gunnar Stockton 201.5, Ty Simpson 253.5.
That's been bumped up for Gunnar because when I checked earlier before the show, it was like 197.
I don't really want to touch Gunnar Stockton passing yards. I think if the Ty Simpson 253, that's basically saying, does Bama have 350 yards of total offense?
Mm-hmm. I thought
I think they will.
I thought a more intriguing line for Ty Simpson was 1.5 passing touchdowns.
Ooh.
That's basically saying, does Bama score twice?
I take that.
Yeah, because they're not going to run it into the box.
They
this
don't
weekend.
run into the end zone very often.
What did we find out? They had 12 rushing touchdowns on the year. 7 of them came against Northern Illinois.
Yeah.
And then 4 of them came against
I think 3 came against
ULM.
Louis. Yeah.
Yeah, so they do not run the ball into the box against Power 5 football teams. So I like that. That's a tremendous play right there from you. All right, so we stayed away from passing yardage. We got into passing touchdowns. Let's go over to rushing yards. All right, Nate Frazier, 64.5, boys. What do you think?
I kind of like the over
Give me
there.
the over there, dude.
He's been averaging about 70 last 5
I kind of like the
games,
over there.
And look,
Oh, it's paying double X too, 2.1X.
give me the over on that. We like
yeah,
making.
yeah. All right, Gunnar Stockton and Ty Simpson rushing yards. Let's stay away.
Yeah.
Too unpredictable with college sacks counting.
I think
in
Oscar
those.
Delp was put at 17.5 receiving
He is.
yards.
I'm looking at that right
will
now.
take that as
Receiving
well.
yards. Oscar Delp 17.5. Y'all like more there, huh?
I mean, that's like
2 catches.
2
If he gets a
catches.
reception, it's usually a pretty big one. It
Yeah,
seems
Oscar
like.
Delp receptions
Cover
this year.
3 football team. Maybe get a seam shot.
Perhaps.
Okay. All right, that's our third play right now, guys. So let's see here. Ryan Williams, 43.5.
I don't like that.
I ain't touching it. That's like 2 receptions for a guy who hasn't gotten a catch in the last month. Zachariah Branch, 58.5.
Well, that's touchy.
Is Jeremy banged up?
I've heard Bama people say that he is.
Bama reporters saying he is.
Yeah, not on the injury report, but I guess like just kind of dealing with a lingering injury.
But
maybe?
if you're going to fade Jeremy Bernard, how are you going to fade? Like, were you going to fade the whole offense?
You might have to.
I'm not. All right, maybe an anytime touchdown play right here to finalize this.
Yeah, those can be juicy.
Those can be juicy. Oh, Nate Frazier, anytime touchdown, but we're already on him for yardage. Isaiah Horton, Noah Thomas, Daniel Hill. They don't run the ball into the box. We can't be out here taking Daniel Hill. How about Josh McCray?
What's the line?
I mean, it's just one. He's got to score a touchdown.
I mean, he is your short yardage back.
Had one last time against Bama.
It did, didn't it? I'm taking it. Let's do it. What does the chat say? I think they're in on it either way.
People like Nate.
All right, there is our four-way play. We got Ty Simpson, 1.5 passing touchdowns, so he's got to throw 2. Josh McCray's just got to get in the box somehow, some way. Oscar Delp, 17.5 yards. Nate Frazier, 64.5 yards. Guys, if we put 10 in right now, it pays out 170.
Lord.
Ooh.
You know what? I'm feeling frisky. Oh, it's not going to let me. Minimum entry for a four-way is $10. We'll take it. We'll take that 170. Hey, again, if you screenshot your play right there and send that to HMA at Sleeper. Can you put the big
right
screen
now.
back on there so I don't get this wrong here for me? Read that to the audience for me, Jay. Well, what is the
All right, here's how you
email?
enter the giveaway. Step 1, trail our community slip on Sleeper. Step 2, email a screenshot of your picks to hmasleeperpicks@gmail.com. Winner gets $100.
There you go. Again, promo code Brooks gets you 100% deposit match up to $100. And they're also for you non-first-time users. If you've already done what we ask, which is support those who support us, you get a free 20 just walking in the door over there today. It's time to lock in.
Lock in.
It's time to lock in. We got final thoughts. It's a big football game. Final thoughts on this weekend's SEC championship. Boys, you felt it when these two played back in September that they'd see each other again somehow, some way. They'd meet again, and they'd meet again with even more on the line. Georgia, the football team, with the cushion to cut it loose. Big brother Bama attempting to control their own college football destiny. You know, when these two football teams match up, it's going to be an absolute war. 4 quarters, who blinks last? The football team that makes the last mistake in this football game ultimately loses it. All right, so you have to know that one going into this. Injuries will play a major role in this one, there's no doubt. Drew Bobo out for the University of Georgia in this ball game, going up against one of the best nose tackles in SEC football in the form of Tim Keenan. Malachi Tolliver going to have to go to war and battle strong in this one. Bama also banged up in this one. Without their tight end, without LT Overton, expected to have a banged up Parker Brailsford. Josh Cuevas, the tight end, very, very important for this offense all year long. They've been without him for several weeks. But boys and girls, welcome to postseason football. That is what it is. It's time to buckle up and go to war with what you've got on your roster, all right? What it boils down to in this football game for me, can Georgia lie to Ty Simpson? Can you disguise everything that you've got going on? Can you mix it up as well? Disguise, mix it, make him never feel comfortable, make him understand or not ever really truly know what the answer to the test is before the ball is snapped, all right? That's very, very important. I think the other question I have in this one, all right, is whether or not Georgia can hang offensively if the game goes in the way that they don't want it to go, which is a third and long battle. If this game turns into which one of these quarterbacks can live and survive on third and long, which one of these quarterbacks can throw for 350 yards and be the reason and the only reason that the football team wins, Alabama's shown the ability to do that this year. I don't know if that's the recipe for success for Georgia. So got to be great on first and second down on the offensive side of the football. Got to maintain 3rd and 4s. Got to maintain 3rd and 2s. Got to maintain the ability to stay on the field and convert the chains. And I think that ultimately boils down to whether or not Malachi Tolliver or Cortez Smith, whoever it is that draws the ability to get the start this weekend and earns the right to go out there and do so, do they have a winnable performance? If you've listened to this network over the years, that's how Georgia grades their takes. That's how Georgia grades their roster. Do you play winnable football? If I throw you out there, will you perform at a winning rate? All right? I don't need you to play like an All-American on Saturday, Malachi Tolliver. I need you to play winning football. And do we have an opportunity to do that? It's a major task and a major concern going into this game because they are so zero-based. They play a true zero 80% of snaps. So that center is going to be hovered over by, again, one of the best nose tackles that college football has going right about now. My other question in this football game is, does Alabama have another one of these quote-unquote off days as a passing football team? Felt like against Oklahoma, it was misses by Ty Simpson, just spraying it, just not trusting what he was seeing, overthrowing, underthrowing, missing shots that he had made all year long. Against Auburn, I felt like it was drops at the tight end position from young football players, drops from 17, Brooks, the young freshman wide receiver, drops at the sideline, maybe not drops, but things that weren't connected between Ty Simpson and Jeremy Bedard that had been connected at a really, really high rate up until that point in the season. Do they have another quote-unquote off day in that passing department? We'll find out on Saturday. But I think most importantly going into this football game is the fact that Kirby Smart, in games in which he has nothing to lose, is a different football coach. He's a much more fun football coach to watch, honestly, because he throws caution to the wind. We saw this in the SEC championship game last year, calling a fake punt with Drew Bobo and converting a very, very pivotal drive in a situation where if they don't get that, Texas probably kicks a field goal and wins the football game right then and there and closes it out. Instead, Georgia goes on and wins the game. I think that's a major difference in this one, is the fact that this is a football team in Georgia that, like I said to start, they can throw caution to the wind and go out there and play loose because they got nothing to lose. By the way, chat, Hunter Lacey, you took offense to the Big Brother Bama comment. Go beat Big Brother this weekend. You'll be all right.
Yeah, going back to what you said about, like, they have the least to lose, like, this has got to be the most house money Georgia's played with in a Georgia-Alabama game under Kirby Smart. Like, there isn't a title on the line other than the SEC championship, and yes, that's important, but there's not a college football playoff appearance at stake. There's not a certain win streak that you have where, if you lose this game, the regular season win streak ends, or the home win streak ends, or the 30-game win streak ends. Like, none of that's on the line, and plus, you've already dealt with the disappointment of losing to Alabama this year and getting really hyped up and thinking you're going to win and this will be your year. Like, Georgia truly has nothing to lose in this game, so it's going to be interesting to watch how that plays out.
All right, I'll get into my final thoughts. As the chat knows, everybody on this show picked Alabama earlier in the week to win, but don't worry. I'm not going to spend my final thoughts telling you why I think that's going to be the case or anything like that. In fact, I thought it would be best maybe if I left you Georgia fans with some things to be confident about going into this weekend, maybe some things that you should definitely feel good about into this matchup. So here's the first one I got for you. First time around, this defense was young. This defense was inexperienced. I mean, Ellis Robinson, Kyron Jones, DeMello Jones, Quintavious Johnson, Chris Cole, Justin Williams. Those are young players that maybe had played last season, gotten some burn, but they were inexperienced at that moment, but not at this point in the year. Those are not young football players anymore. Those could be classified as veteran football players at this point in time for Georgia. So don't worry about the younglings on the defense for Georgia this weekend. This is an experienced unit at this point in the year. These SEC championships boil down to execution and discipline a lot of the time. And Georgia has been probably the most consistent team in the conference at being exactly that throughout the entire year. Now, I know that there were some moments in the first time around against Alabama where that didn't show up, where you didn't execute on some big-time plays and it cost you the football game. But if you had to bet on Georgia to have that replicate or for them to be execute at a high rate and be very disciplined in this game, I think you bet on that part to happen because that's something that this team preaches constantly, and they've shown that time in and time out. That's something that you can believe in them to be able to do, especially in a game like this. You've been here before. Your coach has been here before. These players have been in this game before. This is Kalen DeBoer's first ever SEC championship game. Some of these Alabama players have not played an SEC championship game. I think that experience and these types of moments, and especially in a game like this, I think that can matter because you understand the magnitude of this game, and you kind of understand how these matchups tend to go in a conference title game. And then the final one that I'll give to you is these teams are banged up. These teams have injuries on both sides of the ball. There's a good chance that this one comes down to who could bite the towel for the longest. So how fitting is it that your coach and your team preached all offseason about just that? You know what the best antidote for injuries and pain is? How about some fire, passion, and energy? Woo! Something that Georgia, that was their motto. That was their mantra for the entire offseason. And boy, if they showed up in the season showing some fire, passion, and energy. I'm not saying that Alabama players don't play tough or anything like that, but I am saying it's kind of fitting that in this game, that's something that Kirby Smart has instilled in a belief into his players. It's a requirement to win this SEC championship game.
Where are the dogs at, Jonathan?
On top?
Perhaps.
Oh.
Dogs on top?
Say it ain't so, Jonathan.
You know, it's funny we have talked about that because it's become somewhat of an annual tradition at this point for Georgia fans to leave an Alabama game and wonder, how the hell did we manage to lose that game? It's happened a handful of times over the last decade. And as another matchup against the Alabama Crimson Tide approaches, the question now turns to, what does Georgia have to do to win this game? How can they get over that hump? How can they, like you say, beat Big Brother? What do they need to do? And as a curious member of the media and a Georgia fan myself, I too have been wondering the same thing. What is the secret sauce? How do they get this done? What is it going to take for the dam to burst? And how can Georgia beat Alabama? So, after extensive research and painfully reliving the last 8 to 9 losses, yeah, that was a bad one. Reliving the last 8 to 9 losses that Georgia's had, I have finally found out what is the one thing that Georgia has to do to beat this football team. There are tons of analysis that will take place this entire week. There will be a ton of breakdowns, and there will be qualities of things to do them. There's going to be a lot of nuances in this game, but this matchup will come down to one extremely simple statistic that I don't think is being talked about enough. It's turnovers. Now, I know exactly what you're thinking. Dude, no shit, the turnover battle is important to winning a football game. That's basically how it is in all these matchups, and it's an important factor in any football game. I would say this, though. It is the factor in this football game. Let's read some statistics, shall we? Of the 8 winners in this game, the winner of the turnover battle is 7-1. More on the outlier later. There have been a total of 3 double-digit victories in this series. The losing team in those 3 victories has had 2 turnovers in all 3 occasions, at least 2 turnovers. Against Georgia, Alabama has scored 40-plus points 3 separate times. The turnover splits in those 3 games, Alabama, 2, Georgia, 9.
Whoa.
Yes. So, let's break down one-score games to get some examples here. 2017, Jake Fromm has a pass intercepted in the third quarter of the national championship. Alabama turns that turnover into a field goal, 3 points. Final score of that game, wouldn't you know, 26-23. 2023, an end around gets fumbled inside Georgia's red zone. Alabama turns that into a field goal. Final score of that game, 27-24. I'll save you the details for last year's or this year's matchup with Nate Frazier because we all know how that ends. Spoiler alert, it's the same exact story. Now let's bring up the outlier. There has been one instance where a team has won the turnover battle and not won this football game. The 2018 SEC Championship. Alabama had 2 turnovers in that game. Georgia had none. That's the recipe for it, right? Here's the kicker of it, though. Georgia had 0 points off of those 2 turnovers. And here's the absolute worst part that will rip Georgia fans' hearts out in a minute. This is the iconic Justin Fields fake punt game. If you wouldn't remember that, Georgia attempted, for some odd reason, a fake punt late into the fourth quarter. Ball was turned over. Alabama got the ball back around midfield, scored a touchdown on that drive. Final score of that game, 35-28. So there's a plethora of quality breakdowns that we can have done for this game of pass rush metrics, rushing yard comparisons, who's injured, who's not, phantom offsides penalties that may or may not have been the correct call, third down percentage. But the only metric that is truly going to matter in this game, the only thing that will determine whether or not we come in on Sunday and are talking about, hey, Georgia won or Georgia lost, will be turnovers. So in case you're wondering if Georgia will win on Saturday, the secret recipe to doing so is just getting turnovers and scoring any points off of them. It's simple, I know. It's very simple.
The secret sauce is out.
However, it's so damning when you look at the statistics of this man, Georgia has gotten their asses kicked in the turnover battle.
Those got a subscription in them?
No, these are blue light. But it's for the emphasis, dude. It's for the bit.
That boy.
Nah, these are not subscription at all. No, I'm not trying to steal valor with glasses.
Jonathan got the joke of the week off camera.
Oh God, dude, that's brutal. That's brutal, dude.
Can't do it.
No.
It's a post show.
Yeah, that's a post show.
Hey, doppelganger though.
Perhaps.
B minus.
Yeah.
Was this about me?
I mean, you resembled a certain somebody.
I know exactly where this is going, and no, it is not that.
Okay.
Chad
wants us to give him 3.
I'm guessing.
I think we should.
Hey, that boy Christian Kirby, give him 3.
I'm guessing you looked up a certain.
No. No.
We didn't look up anything.
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
Win the turnover battle and you win the game. Bottom line. Final thought on that.
It's going to be a good weekend. I hope.
It's going to be a great one or a bad one.
Could be the last time in a minute we get to preview a Georgia football game.
Yeah.
I mean, it will be for 2 weeks at least.
Yeah, either way, we're not going to talk about Georgia football, like actually playing a game until at earliest December 20th, right?
Mm-hmm. But it could be New Year's Eve.
Dude. I mean, not to go ahead, never mind. We can lick wounds if there's wounds to be licked afterwards. But a home playoff game wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
Oh, Athens would be awesome. Home playoff game in that stadium.
I'll take that bye, though.
Whew.
Hey, what do you think Gunnar Stockton thinks about this game this weekend?
He's such a cut and dry guy. Oh, you want me to do this?
He's
Let's
asking.
try this again.
Here's what you do. You have to address him as Gunnar.
Okay.
He has to get in character.
It's been a minute since I've done this.
Hey, Gunnar, what do you think about this game this weekend?
No, it's a great opportunity for the Dogs. Happy to be here, that we earned the right to play in this game. And, any day the Dogs win, that's a great day. So that's what we're going to try and do.
Dogs on top. We'll see you this Sunday.